Hey, Pardon My Take listeners, you can find every episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. On today's Pardon My Take, we have Week 16 of the NFL. Some big-time games, some big-time playoff implications. We had Saturday football, Christmas Day football. We had a full slate on Sunday. We're going to recap everything with you fastest 2 minutes. We're going to get to Football Guy of the Week and Who's Back of the Week. But before we do all of that, we're brought to you by our friends at Tostitos. Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL. If you're watching football with your friends, you need two things, a TV and some Tostitos. End of list. No get-together is official until some Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL, get served. Maybe you're hosting the game. Maybe you need something to snack on while listening to us. Doesn't matter the occasion. If I was a betting man, which I am, I would say the odds are that you have a bag of Tostitos and some salsa in your kitchen right this second. Plus, they've got a flavor for everyone. Hint of lime for folks who love a bit of zest. Habanero if you're kicking things up a notch. Hint of guacamole to make your guacamole taste even guacier. Fans can get in the game with a custom recipe for their favorite team at Tostitos.com/recipes. Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL. I love Tostitos. You love Tostitos. The greatest chip and dip ever created. And you got to be eating it when you're watching football all the way through the playoffs. So Tostitos, go check them out right now. Tostitos.com/recipes. Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL. Okay, let's go.
It's Pardon My Take, presented by Barstool Sports.
Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL. Today is Monday, December 27th, week 16. We start with the Fighting Dan Campbells, who took on the Falcons, led by the Chins, as people expected to watch the king of the eyesores with these two teams clashing. After a long weekend of eating, it was Kyle Schitz who could not be contained on his way to 102 yards. Stop me if you've heard this before, but Ghost Hotel owner Arthur Blank was on the sideline as TB12 tried to lead his team to a miraculous comeback. Only this time, O'Boyle doesn't rule, as the quarterback threw a back-breaking interception to end the game. Falcons 20, Lions 16. What?
To Houston, where don't put up a statue of him yet, but Jefferson Davis Mills put his team in a position to succeed, as many are saying the AFC South might rise again. Rex Grossman Burkhead kept going deep over and over again, and red beans and Royce Freeman was a wonderful side dish. I put my trust in you. Jackson tried so hard and pushed as far as he could go as a hybrid theory out of the backfield for the Chargers. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Brandon Staley, Joel Osment sees dead people. Yeah, his entire team. Sorry, Aaron Rodgers, but David McCully-Culkin doesn't know how to make his family disappear. But it certainly does look like he's going to make the Chargers stay home alone for the playoffs. Texans, 41. Chargers, 49. Huh?
Some spread. In the city of brotherly love, it was Tory Lane Johnson expertly handling the balls for a touchdown. Jake Fromm.
Georgia.
No. Jake Fromm.
Warner Robins, Georgia.
No, Jake Fromm.
The Buffalo Bills.
His name is Jake Fromm, Teed. Shut up for a second. Jake Fromm answered life's greatest question. Is there a professional quarterback worse than Mike Glennon? With a resounding yes. Fun fact, to make glass, you need to liquefy Sanders. Miles, that is, and I may have put this insult in because I had his rushing prop over that totally would have hit before the running back left with an injury in the second half. In terrible news for the G-men, Joe Judge is reportedly back for another year, making him the least liked Judge since Ito. Speaking of Ito, I Ito'd too much this weekend and I'm fat. Eagles 34, Giants 10.
The Ravens and the Bengals were in a battle for the catbird seat in the AFC North, and former Ohio outcasts Burrows and Mixon were singing from the runs to the checkdowns to the red zone shots from deep throws. Ha ha ha, we love these Joes. Ha ha ha, we love these Joes. The Cinderella story squashed Johnson turned back into a pumpkin as John Barack Obama was too busy signing his entire team up for healthcare.gov to make sure Ohio still belonged to Dem. Golden T. Higgins had a solid 4 irons worth of yards, and Tyler Freeboyd had a long solo catch and run. There might not be a lot to do in Cincinnati, but that just means they will all be at the Bengals home playoff game. Huh? What? Huh? Bengals 41, Ravens 21.
In Foxborough, Isaiah McKenzie Consulting streamlined the Bills' offense, going for 11 receptions for 125 yards and 1 TD. Damian Joe Harris pulled up for 3. Touchdowns, that is, but it wasn't enough, as Mac Jim Jones was not flying high or balling, throwing 2 interceptions to Micah Apple Pie. And no one circles wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
No one circles the wagons like the
Buffalo
Bills.
In the Meadowlands, Wilson's 14 points were not on plan for peace, as Braxton gotta have me some boats and barrios returned one for a score. The Jaguars put up a fight, while Dare Odin fumbled the ball away, did what Trevor couldn't. Connor Mickey D delivered a supersized touchdown reception, sealing interim coach Ron Kate Middleton to a successful coronation. Jets win.
Up to Minneapolis, where Sony PlayStation Michelle was on rookie mode and opened the game up with a touchdown. The running back duel continued in the third quarter when Alexander Hamilton Madison told the Rams defense, "I'm not throwing away my shot," to enter the end zone. Go, Brandon Power Ranger said, "It's morphin' time," when he returned to punt for a score, and Odell Beckham Jr. enjoyed his Christmas dinner with a dance on the side. The Rams clinch a playoff spot. As for the Vikings, they're still the Vikings. Los Angeles 30, Minnesota 23.
To Kansas City, where it was Ho-Ho-Home's Merry Christmas. The fat man in the red suit, Andy Reid, brought his big sack of presents, and Steel City got a lump of coal. Byron Chris Pringle was making a list of TD dances, and he checked it twice. Clyde Edwards-Voltaire said Mike Tomlin that those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities, like kicking a field goal in the third quarter down 30 teach. Big Ben was throwing up wounded ducks and flocks of seagulls to Deontay Johnson, and Tyrann so far away. Matthew had Steelers fans pulling out their hair. Kansas City, 36. Pittsburgh, 10.
Was that your eye face, Teach?
Who's getting nudes?
We finish in Seattle, where the field covered in white stuff wasn't because Big Dick Nick was in town. It was a good old-fashioned snow football game. Mr. Unlimited is so unlimited that he isn't even limited to losing a game to Matt Nagy and the Bears. Unlimited. It was the weekend of St. Nick, as Foles wasn't delivering Cole Kmet to the kids, but instead the ageless wonder Jimmy Graham with a late touchdown to seal the win. Are the Bears back? Some people are saying the Bears might be back. Bears 25, Seahawks 24. All right, week 16 in the books. We are on Zoom again because it is our week off, but we're here for the people. We're going to recap every game. We had everyone chip in. Jake, again, you win the award for best boomer and delivery. That's two weeks in a row. It's like an employee of the week. Put that up. Maybe put that up on your fridge, so your mom can see it. I
think he gets Jake of the week again.
Jake of the week again.
Thank you.
So we're gonna recap every game. Do we want to start with this night game? Because
no, I don't think we do. I don't think many people watched it, to be honest with you. Everyone's, it's the time of year where you're spending as much time as you can with your family. Is probably a low-rated game. We don't need to watch it. I think, the big enemy tonight was definitely Roger Goodell for scheduling the football team to play 2 games in 5 days. I thought player safety was a thing that we were taking into account, especially after, the entire team has been exposed to Nick Sirianni and his COVID that he brought to the last game on the sideline. So it's not really a shock to me that we're feeling a little bit winded out there. I had this marked down as a loss at the beginning of the season. And as recently as just 2 weeks ago, I said that they were going to lose this game. So no, I'm not worried. I don't think that we need to talk about it.
The Washington football team, as we're taping this, they're down 42-7. There's 10 minutes left of the third quarter. They should have a running clock. The Cowboys, the hype is going to be off the charts on Monday morning for the Cowboys, because this is the game that, like, the national primetime game. The Cowboys have been lurking. They've been a very good team all year. This was their, oh shit, the Cowboys are actually like Super Bowl contenders. I'm mad at myself because I thought about making a wager on them to win the Super Bowl on Monday at 12-1. I've surely fucked myself over, but the Cowboys are back. And PFT, I'll do a spin zone for you. Who are the guys who were fighting? Was it Payne and who else?
Allen and Payne, Jonathan Allen and Payne. So our Pro Bowl defensive tackle, and then Payne, who's really good, and they're teammates from Alabama. So you can blame this. You can blame this on Saban if you want, or it's like since we played so many games in such a short time period, it's like the opposite of when you're in training camp. We're sick of hitting other guys. We want to hit each other.
Quick power rankings though of finger points. I actually think a finger point to the temple is the most aggressive finger point you can do. The chest is number 3. I think the forehead is number 2, the temple being number 1, because it's just you don't finger point with a fake gun to someone's temple unless you mean business and you mean like let's fight. So all things considered, the fact that no one got knocked out, the fact that it was kind of cooled down after about 10 seconds there, I actually think that's a win for the Washington football team. It could have been way worse. Yeah,
I blame the benches. That we flew in our own benches tonight. We kind of copied Dallas on that. It seems like everyone is just, the benches are probably what the issue is when it comes to this. And you're right. The point to the finger point to the temple is aggressive. I would say that's like the second worst thing. If you flick another man's ear, I think that's more of a fighting gesture.
Oh, that could be also you want to fuck.
The finger gun. If flicking an ear?
Yeah, you should be like, hey, like it's almost
I
like
said flick, not lick.
Yeah, no, flick. No, I got you. Flicking a person's ear could be a little like, middle school teasing. I think that plays. The temple is, I want to shoot. If I had a gun, I would execute you.
Did you guys ever do the bip? What about a bip where you hit somebody in the back of the head, you go upside the back of their head? That's pretty aggressive too.
Yep.
I think Jonathan Allen, he missed the punch intentionally. I hope he missed the punch intentionally because it was so close. Like, how are you going to miss that punch? It was from like 6 inches away.
Yeah.
I would have rather he connected. This is a game where I'm rooting for it to just keep getting worse and worse and worse. I'm open for a 60 lobster.
Yeah.
Just make it flat out embarrassing.
Yeah. It's it's headed that way. Jonathan Allen should have fish hooked him back. That would be the appropriate response to the finger to the temple. And the fish hook is something that is, if you've ever gone through the fish hook phase with your friends, it's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. You can't get out of a fish hook. All right, so the Washington football team's eliminated, right?
They're pretty much eliminated from the offs. They're still kind of in the hunt, but not really. The season's over. I was hoping for the dynasty for 2 seasons in a row making the playoffs, but I still think I actually think the best thing for the football team right now would be to give Ron Rivera an extension. That's really what we need.
I'd agree.
It would send a message that, okay, yeah, we're kind of a clusterfuck, but at least we're a clusterfuck with some stability. I still think that Ron Rivera is the guy that would be the best option to lead the team. If you start over again from scratch at this point, then it's just like straw's gone. I'm burning every straw that I see at that point. No one else is allowed to have any straws. Forget about my personal straw inventory. I'm taking it out on the rest of the world because that would just signal that this merry-go-round's never going to stop, and we're just going to end up puking on each other for the next 20 years.
No, I think Ron Rivera's done a very good job for a team that has lost a lot in terms of injury and just, let's be honest, they don't really have a franchise quarterback. That was my last question. In the ranking of Taylor Heineke as the guy, where do you sit right now? Not a great Taylor Heineke game. Not a good Taylor Heineke game, but I still think that he's our guy right now. Okay, so he's not the guy. No, wait. He's the guy right now. Right. I don't know who we get in the draft. I don't know if there's anybody out there that's going to fall to us where we'd be able to say that's a definite upgrade. But I still like Huntley. I still like
he's the guy.
You want to
get him?
You want to trade for him?
He's the guy that's out there where I'm like, wow, that guy. I want that guy. I want to see what that guy can do on my team. But I don't mind Heineke because even when he sucks, he's still exciting, and when he's good, he's really good. And he's a stoolie too. He's a boy.
There we go.
He's a fan of the boys. Oh, and also just shout out to Will Compton. He had a tough week, and we're thinking of him. We love you, Will, and hope things are going okay for you. But yeah, I know Taylor's a big fan. He's a big fan of their podcast too. But yeah, I do. I still like Heineke, I think. But to your point on the Cowboys, yeah, the Cowboys, they could definitely win the Super Bowl. Their defense is good enough where it's not a fluke. And when the offense is good, they're pretty much unbeatable. It's just that they have some hiccup games where the offense doesn't play as well as the defense does. But yeah, I still think that they've got all the pieces there. My question is, like, Diggs is so good at cornerback. Have they thought about him playing wide receiver? Why isn't he a wide receiver?
Well, they have a lot of wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, Diggs is so good at tracking the ball and catching it. They always say, like, oh, that's why that guy's a cornerback and doesn't play wide receiver. It's the opposite for him. It's like, wait, why isn't that guy playing offense too?
Yeah, no, he was his 11th pick tonight. Yeah, no, I've been preaching the Cowboys for a few weeks now, for probably a month and a half now, just because their defense, when fully healthy, can play with anyone. And their offense is similar to, like, the Chiefs, where they've had some bad games, but you keep saying to yourself, they have everything. They have all the pieces. They have they have a great wide receivers. They have good running backs. They have an offensive line, when healthy, that plays well, and Dak has the ceiling. It's just they haven't put it all together. Tonight it feels like they kind of put it all together. So, yeah, the hype train will be out of control for the Cowboys. All right, let's start with Saturday's games. Christmas, the Packers and the refs, 24, the Browns, 22. The Browns this season is – I was trying to think about it. I think the season hurts so much for the Browns because they had last season, so it felt like they were building something, where if you took this season on its own, you're like, okay, there's been a lot of injuries, and I looked it up, 6 out of 8 of their Browns losses have been from a combined 24 points. 24 points out of 6 of those losses. So that's 4 points a game. Like, it's ridiculous how close they have been in all of these games. But it was a bad game for the Browns, bad game for Baker. I have a fun stat for you, PFT. This is very fun.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield threw 4 interceptions. The last Browns quarterback to throw 4 interceptions.
Bernie Kosar.
Brandon Weeden. And I looked it up. I went down the rabbit hole. Not only Brandon Weeden, but it's Brandon Weeden, 2012, Week 1, his stat line was 12 for 35, 118 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It was his first game in the NFL, and it was the game that he got swallowed by the American flag. What a memory.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember when that was the most patriotic thing that's ever happened. He became, his body just transformed into America.
Yeah, it was so sad, though, because when I figured this out, I was looking it up, and I was like, wait, could it have been this game? It was a crazy game. It was versus the Eagles, and Michael Vick also threw 4 interceptions. So 8 total interceptions. Brandon Weeden was starting. It was his first game as a rookie. He was 28 years old, which is just the funniest thing ever. That, like, why would a 28-year-old ever be whatever? It was crazy time. It was a crazy time.
A non-Mormon 28-year-old too.
A crazy time. But I said to Memes and Liam, I was like, I just figured out that the last time the Browns had a quarterback throw 4 interceptions, which there's been a lot of bad Browns quarterbacks. Like the stretch between Brandon Weeden and Baker Mayfield, like Deshaun Kaiser's in there, Brian Hoyer, and like all these weird games and teams and quarterbacks. But I figured out that it was the Brandon Weeden game where he got swallowed up by the American flag, and I said it so excitedly to Memes and Liam, and they're like, oh, we don't remember that. And it made me feel so old. So I would imagine there's a lot of kids right now who are listening to this who have no idea. Go look it up. Brandon Weeden, before his first start in the NFL, had the big American flag that they bring out for Week 1 swallow him up. He got caught underneath it like a rain delay in a baseball game, and that was basically how his career started and ended.
Those who don't remember the past are doomed to repeat it. I could see Billy football like suffocating to death underneath an American flag at some point in his life. Like that's if you got to pick a way to go, that's probably an all-timer. And Brandon Weeden was terrible. Baker's not. I don't think he's bad. I think that Baker is, especially if you look at the list of Browns quarterbacks that they've had recently, he's still by far the best that they've had in a very, very long time. I was actually thinking about this because we talk a lot about Kirk Cousins and how he doesn't take risks, and that can kill you. With Baker, it's sometimes the opposite, where he does take too many risks. I actually think that the way that those two teams are built, the Browns would be better with Kirk Cousins and the Vikings would be better with Baker Mayfield than they are right now. If Kirk Cousins was on the Browns and it's like, okay, all you do is you take what's there, you let your defense handle business, you run the ball, that's kind of the team that he's built to win for right at this moment. I think that Baker would be better with the weapons that they have in Minnesota, where, yeah, you can make a few mistakes, but also you can hit a shitload of home runs up there. It's tough to see because at times, like, we are objective journalists, and yes, just because Baker's been on the show, and we do consider him a friend of ours, and we would never say anything bad about him, I have to say that sometimes Baker he leaves something to be desired, but I still think that I would be reluctant to change quarterbacks if I was a Browns fan, just knowing the history.
That's really what where it like boils down. If you're talking about the history of the Browns, it's very similar when I had Jay Cutler in my life, and it was like people were like, "Oh, he's not the guy." It's like, well, what are you talking about? The history is not good here. Jay Cutler's the best quarterback we've ever had. Like, oh no, the Cowboys just blocked a punt and scored a touchdown.
Jesus fucking Christ!
This is more than a clowning.
This is a clown pumping.
This is a extra clowning.
We're getting clown-tonioed.
Clowning on steroids. But you're right. Like Baker Mayfield, I don't know how much you can judge this specific year with all the injuries. I think he is. We talk about it all the time, but like he's the type of guy that if he will take a little bit less money, it's worth re-signing him. It's just you can't give him. I think that's what they've figured out. The Browns can't make Baker Mayfield. You know how like every quarterback that gets drafted and gets his 5th-year extension then gets the biggest contract. He can't be that, obviously, because that game was a very winnable game. And the Browns defense, after they realized, oh yeah, Devontae Adams is really fucking good, played like decent, but Baker Mayfield had 4 picks. And I do love, I kind of agree that like they should have just run Nick Chubb on that last drive. They had 3 timeouts. They ran Nick Chubb, I think 3 straight times to start the drive, and then they went pass, interception. And everyone was like, why don't you just keep running Nick Chubb until you get in field goal range, which I sort of agree with. But then you also have to be like, but Baker threw 4 picks. And the last one was a hold, but you still, like, your quarterback has to be able to throw.
Yeah, no, we should be very clear about that. The Browns got fucked on that last call. That definitely should have been a penalty. They should have had an opportunity to keep that drive going. But no, I don't have a problem with passing the ball a couple times. Like that's how you want to be able to go win a game. You can't say, okay, we need to put together a drive here. Let's just pretend like our quarterback doesn't exist. Let's just say fuck it and run the football the entire time. You have to have like a little bit of that confidence in your quarterback to trust him and be able to do that. So I don't mind the pass calls that they put out there. They got fucked. You're right. The refs and the Packers. How many refs are there on a football team or a football field at any given time?
6 or something. I mean, listen, I've been telling you everyone for a long time. It's hard to beat the Packers and the refs.
Yeah, it was the old picture where you line up the refs and the letters on the back of their jersey spell out bruh. It was a bruh.
This is there's a picture floating out there, not to do Mike Francesa, but I think it's a real picture of all the refs doing a Lambeau leap.
You know what they did? They celebrated with the team.
Yeah.
I think that one of them was wearing a cheese head.
It's still an all-time moment that Mike Francesa really thought a ref did a jersey swap with LeBron. Was it LeBron?
Yeah, I think so.
Just unbelievable moment.
Yeah, Mike Francesa is like Billy if he was 80 years old, just trusting whatever picture pops up on the internet. I saw it on the internet.
I saw it. It's got to be real. As for Aaron Rodgers, he breaks the record for most touchdowns for a Packer player. He still only has 1 Super Bowl, and his toe's probably messed up. He got stepped on Would be a shame. Would be a shame if his toe's hurt.
Now his toe is hurt. It wasn't hurt going into this game. He was fine. And then somebody stepped on it and it hurt it. I still don't think that his toe was as hurt as he said that it was. I think it's all a bunch of baloney. I think he's the king of baloney, Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, they're looking good. When he threw that touchdown pass and then Brett Favre's big face popped up on the screen, looking like he was calling in from his flip phone wearing those Crocs. I think everybody in the stadium held their breath for a second.
Yes, absolutely. Uh-oh. What are we going to get from Brett here? The Packers do look very good. They're probably going to get the 1 seed. I think they have the Vikings and Lions to finish out. They are winning these games closely. Like, they're not – these games are dramatic till the end. The Ravens game last week was similar, where it's like, oh, geez, they're kind of toying around. Their offense is incredible, and then they seem to – I don't know what it is, but they'll have moments in the second half where they're just, maybe it's playing conservative. I don't know what it is, but teams will come back because they'll get a couple stops. They'll string a couple in a row when it feels like Aaron Rodgers can do whatever he wants whenever he wants. Maybe he gets bored with it. Maybe Aaron Rodgers should retire because he's just bored. He's bored being as good as he is. And he's very, very good. I've always been unbiased in that respect. He's fucking incredible at football. I just hope his toe isn't really, really hurt because that would be a shame.
I don't think it was hurt. I don't think it's hurt that bad right now. He wants one of those games where he probably got stepped on and he was like, this is awesome that now I have something on film that proves that my foot is hurt. So I'm going to really ham it up and make a big deal out of it. Here's something you can tell yourself, Big Cat. I don't think that this Packers team is built for the cold. I think they're built for
finesse.
They're built for global warming. They're lucky it's so warm out right now, with the exception of Seattle. It was 67 degrees in DC yesterday, by the way. Crazy
Damn.
Day for Christmas. But yeah, I don't know if they're built for the cold. I think that the Cowboys team that we're seeing right now, that team travels better in the cold than the Packers do.
There you go. I'm God damn it, I can't believe I didn't bet on them on Monday when I was talking myself into doing it and everything like that. Last thing I have about the Packers, I'm pissed off that Matt LaFleur is also good looking. Every time they show a picture of him, I'm like, what the fuck's this guy's problem? Like, he's a good-looking dude. And it's not right, because a true football coach should get fatter and uglier and look super tired all the time. Like, if you see, I mean, Belichick, he's wearing his age. Matt Nagy looks like he wants to cry constantly on the sideline. We've talked about Arthur Smith's chin. Like, Matt LaFleur, the guy looks like he's sleeping 12 hours a night. This is fucked up. I don't like it.
Matt LaFleur is everything Cliff Kingsbury wants to be.
Yes. All right, so that's a good segue. The Cardinals, the Colts. So we didn't have a show on Friday. The Cardinals finally, I won the war. The Cardinals finally relented. They made a video posting the final score of the Lions game. It was a great win. It was a great victory online. I'm happy for Lions fans. Also, shout out all the various Lions blogs that did everything in their power to not mention me or Barstool. I appreciate that. They're like, all these Lions fans just banded together and was able to get the Cardinals to post the final score 5 days later. But I thought it was going to be that was going to be the karmic reversal they needed. And I guess they did clinch the playoffs today. But the Cardinals are frauds. The Colts went in with a backup offensive line and got 2 injuries during the game. Carson Wentz played great, and the Cardinals are back to where they were last year, where it's like falling apart down the stretch, getting worse down the stretch.
It brings me no pleasure to report that I think I'm back in on Carson Wentz. He had 2 awesome throws. He had that one where he was rolling to his right, throwing across his body. He had another one where he just fucking gunned it 16 yards. We keep going back and forth. I don't know where you're at right now, Big Cat, because we usually have the nice yin and the yang where when I believe in him, you're like, no, he sucks. When you believe in him, I'm like, no, he sucks. I think he might be good again. I think Carson Wentz flipped the switch.
Well, here's what I do know. Last week we talked about how the Wildcat is the dumbest thing in football right now. I hate the Wildcat. I think it is the dumbest thing that coaches do. There's no reason to use the Wildcat anymore. It's not 2010 or whatever it was with Tony Sperano, RIP. The second dumbest thing in all of football is when a team decides to do a 3-man rush. I do not know what the Cardinals were doing at the end of that game against a backup offensive line. that touchdown throw that Carson Wentz had to basically end the game, they're rushing 3. You can't. No, everyone can beat a 3-man rush. Like, it's the NFL. Everyone can beat a 3-man rush. Guys will get open, and quarterbacks are athletic enough to move around to beat a 3-man rush. It made no sense. I don't know, like the Cardinals, to me, I know I'm hard on Cliff Kingsbury, but I think it's warranted because everyone throws, flowers at his feet in September and October. They just fall apart. They've fallen apart 2 years in a row. And it's like, it's more than just a trend at this point because I looked at it, right? Last year we talked about 6-3 to start the season, 29.5 points a game, 2-5 to finish the season, 20.5 points a game. This year they were 8-1, 30 points a game. They've now in the last 6 games gone 2-4, 19 points a game. It's the same exact thing. And you could say Kyler's hurt, which that would be a bigger question of, is that your franchise quarterback can't stay healthy for a 17-game season? But they don't seem like they're like well coached for 4 quarters.
Pretty healthy on.
Yeah,
he looked healthy on that long scramble though. I think Kyler's good now. He had a couple weeks. Obviously, like Colt McCoy came in. He looked like he was banged up after the Green Bay Packers game, but I think he's good now. I think it's safe to say the Arizona Cardinals were the worst 7-0 team in the history of the NFL.
Yeah,
we can say that. I think we can measure that right now. So what were the Steelers last year?
They were 11-0. 11-0.
I think so. When the Steelers were 7-0 last year, they would have been favored by, in my book, 6.5 points over these Cardinals when they were 7-0.
Yeah,
they're the Fraudnals. They really miss DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's a pretty big part of what they do offensively, obviously, because he's an insanely talented guy. And AJ Green is I think he just decided to stop playing football.
But this slide also happened before, like it started before DeAndre Hopkins went out. And again, it feels like just a lack of coaching, a lack of getting better. Like good teams get better down the stretch. Like look what the Chiefs are doing right now. They're just ripping off wins and they get better every single week. The Cardinals are hot in the beginning of the season and then they just start to fade. And it doesn't feel like anything will stop them. They have to play Dallas next week. They clinched the playoffs, so they're in the playoffs. So I guess it's better than last year where they faded all the way to not making the playoffs. But it's crazy to me that this isn't like a bigger story just because of how apparent it is that they're just falling apart again. And I don't want to do this because they did make right with the Twitter thing, and I don't want to hate the Cardinals, and I do not like the Colts because I'm worried about my pinky. But yeah, it's wild that they're doing this exact same thing again. Maybe it's just the schedule. It just got tougher. But the Colts had no offensive line, came in and won in their house, and with Carson Wentz throwing it a decent amount. And Frank Reich deserves like a ton of credit. He's a fucking good coach. And he knows exactly, like, I feel like he's the perfect Carson Wentz coach because he knows when to have him throw a lot and when to have him throw a little and that push and pull to bring the most out of Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Frank Reich's a good coach. And the Colts really started to heat up once Jim Irsay started to post all those videos of him singing classic rock songs online. Once he started to do his little tour, I don't know if you've noticed him recently, but this dude, he's got such a wide variety of like pinstripe suits and cowboy hats and sunglasses. He's living his best life out there. He was singing The Weight by the band with his Jim Irsay collection of guys. That dude is really enjoying this season. It's a pleasure to see him happy.
The Colts are a good football team. They're a really good football team.
They're very good. I wouldn't be worried about my pinky though. I don't think that they're going to win the Super Bowl. But I think that they definitely could win a playoff game.
The big thing that happened wasn't the Colts like beating the Cardinals. It was the Titans coming back and beating the 49ers on Thursday night. Because now the Titans have the tiebreaker. They beat the Colts twice. If the Colts won the AFC South somehow, I'd be very worried because then they would have home playoff games and wouldn't beat Carson Wentz. This is such a clowning.
What the fuck is going on right now?
This is such a clowning.
In the game.
All right, I don't want to be
disgusting that this game is
Cooper
still
Rush
happening.
too. It's Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush is in with 3 minutes left in the third.
I don't want to be too mean to Cardinals fans because I know they're going through it. I think most Cardinals fans realize this. It was more like the national media isn't saying, "Hey, what's up with Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray?" But I don't know. I do feel bad for Cardinals fans because there's nothing worse than having your team be good record-wise, but also deep down knowing that they're not good. And it's almost like you're hiding it, being like, oh, man, as soon as things start to spiral, they're going to spiral fast. And as a fan of the team, you know that, but the rest of the world doesn't know it. And you know the embarrassment is coming. I feel like that's what Cardinals fans have been living through the last month. And I do feel for that because that sucks.
You'll always have that one moment, though, where after 7 weeks, you were number one on just about everybody's power rankings. That's such a good feeling.
True.
If you're not going to win the Super Bowl, at least at some point during the season, outside of the first month or so, at some point during the midseason, if your team is number one, like the consensus number one across all the media's power rankings, that's a great week that you had. Nobody can take away that feeling where you're just clicking on the graphics on Twitter, like in large image, and you guys are number one across the board. That was good. You'll have that. I actually think in retrospect, they fucked themselves once they decided to stop posting the losses on Twitter. I don't think that you can really take that back. And, it goes back to all the other losses that they have. That set the tone. As we said, the fish stinks from the head down.
Yeah.
It was the mark of a loser.
Yeah. The losses, when you don't post the losses, bad things happen. And the Suns are good. So there you go. The Suns are good.
Mm-hmm.
The Suns are a very good team. And we'll be a Suns podcast again this NBA playoffs for the West.
Yep.
All right.
And you got the Yotes. You got good sweaters.
Yeah. You got Biz Nasty. Okay. Let's go to Sunday.
They just paid their taxes. You're good.
Oh yeah, the Yotes just paid their taxes.
Yeah, they didn't have the light and heat turned off at the stadium. That's cool.
I still believe in Kyler Murray. I just think it is a real question of what do you do to make sure that he doesn't get injured, because he's a small guy, and this is 2 years in a row where it feels like his ankle last year, his shoulder, have helped the downfall of this team in what maybe they'll surprise everyone in the playoffs. Maybe J.J. Watt will come back, fix all your problems. DeAndre Hopkins, who knows? Don't sleep on the Cardinals. There you go. I said it. I didn't really mean it. You could tell by the tone of my voice. All right, Sunday. Hank?
Yeah.
How the tables have turned. Bills 33, Patriots 21. Before we started taping, Henry Lockwood said to us with a straight face, "Man, Bills fans are being mean." And BFT and I both just laughed. We're like, I think there might be a reason behind that.
Yeah, well, listen, it's more like, keeping it between the lines. Like, obviously, I've talked my fair share of trash in my day, but the thing some of these people are DMing me and the lengths that they're going to roast me and just bringing up, personal life and all these different things. And it's no big deal. It's all good. I can handle it, but it's aggressive. It's quite aggressive. But
you're getting bullied, Hank.
I'm not being bullied. The people are just being mean, and that's fine. But yeah,
doesn't sound like it's fine.
No, it's I wasn't saying it on the show. You guys brought it to the show. I was just saying.
I think you probably didn't expect it from the city of Buffalo, because we do love the city of Buffalo.
And I've always said I love the city of Buffalo, obviously. And I feel like every time we talk about them, their little brother, we've dominated them for 20 straight years. That's not being mean.
You're
that's
doing
just
it right now.
Yeah.
No,
calling them little brother, patting their head. You're doing a finger gun point to their temple right now.
If you guys beat the Cowboys every single year for 20 straight years and they beat you tonight, you would also call them little brother. That's not being mean. That's just a fact. But again, they won. They're the better team today. Josh Allen played like an elite quarterback. Mac Jones played like a rookie quarterback. And we're kind of back to where we were, I feel like maybe week 6, 7, 8, where we're not the powerhouse Patriots. We're more of the team no one wants to see in the playoffs, might make some noise.
I don't think you can't revert to the team no one wants to play. You build into being the team that nobody wants to play. You're back into fingers crossed mode. The wheels might be coming off ever since you won the Week 13 Super Bowl, Hank.
So, Soupy, Hank, you were talking Soupy. You were thinking Soupy.
I was thinking Soupy.
Are you still thinking Soupy?
I'm no longer thinking Soupy. I'm thinking what's winning a game in the playoffs and, build off that next year going forward. Here's what I was thinking. Listen, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Watching this game, we're obviously friends with Josh Allen. He played phenomenally. He played like an elite quarterback, top quarterback in the league. Mac Jones played like a rookie. Josh Allen, when he was a rookie, was not making those plays that he makes now. It does take time in the NFL. You got to get reps and stuff. Like Josh Allen 4 years ago would not have won that game that he won today. And that's just an example of like, you got to give players time. Mac Jones played like shit, but he's a rookie. So, and it doesn't all, Rome wasn't built in a day.
I like that you are reverting though to like just thinking about it in a bigger perspective.
Yeah.
You're outperforming your expectations going into the season with
We are.
So,
But you can't-
so
you
you're
can't-
fine. But you were talking soupy.
Yeah, you can't really do that.
I mean, Big Cat, the Bears are back every week,
American
right?
But listen, the Bears are not back. I say it because I want to believe it, but it's not true. Like you said you were taking a shower one day and all you were thinking about was soupy.
Well, at the time we were number one in the division and we were like, we had a stranglehold in the NFL. That's where it's tough. Obviously NFL is week to week, but there was a point in the NFL in the season where everyone, ESPN, every single person, analyst
I agree.
on the show was saying that the Patriots are dark horses for the Super Bowl, and they no longer are. But at the time, I was agreeing with them because I had seeing what they put on the field. You had no choice but to agree with them.
You are right. You're absolutely right. Their 7-game winning streak, like it felt like they were building a recipe that was going to be hard to stop in January. I do think Mac Jones has hit a little bit of a wall. Obviously he's not bad. I know that the pendulum swings. I think
he would overthrow that wall.
Yes. So the pendulum swings so hard on all of these takes that everyone, Mac Jones is incredible. Mac Jones sucks week to week. I have a question though for you, Hank. Do you think there's a chance that the game in Buffalo that we went to actually damage Mac Jones' confidence as a rookie quarterback because they went in and they won, and Belichick basically was like, you don't have the arm strength to throw in this wind. You're going to throw it 3 times. He going into that game, he was 72% completion on the season. Since then, the 3 weeks since then, he's been 52%. Do you think that was more like you won the battle but lost the war on Mac Jones building the confidence to take you deep in the playoffs? Thoughts?
Absolutely not. Listen, I don't think anyone that expected a rookie quarterback to take your team deep in the playoffs is delusional.
Well said. Well said.
And if they do it, it will be an incredible run, and Mac Jones will have outperformed expectations. But it's not. Again, Rome was not built in a day. If we're having this conversation in 4 years, like I do compare it to Josh Allen. Josh Allen, if you guys remember when he was a rookie, he was making crazy plays. He was doing the like quadruple flip laterals, like out of bounds in the playoffs. That was rookie Josh Allen. The Josh Allen that played today was making great throws. He was poised, all that shit. It takes time. It's a progression. If Mac Jones is still where he's at today in 4 years, then we can have this conversation. But I don't think it holds that much weight week by week versus season by season when you're a rookie.
So there's a lot of talk. You can say Mac Jones, he's going to have his highs and lows as a rookie. Are you at all worried about the fact that Belichick kind of got out coached today?
No. What?
He kind of got out. He did get out coached today. McDermott could have just laid over after what happened to him in Buffalo. That's the kind of loss that would stay with the coach and kill his confidence, not just like a quarterback's confidence, but that could kill a head coach's confidence. Like, oh, Belichick still has my number. This is never going to end. And he came out there and had a pretty good offensive play calling today. Just the threat of them being able to run the ball is really all that it took to be able to beat this Patriots team. And yeah, they used Josh Allen on a ton of design runs, but they were still like the threat was there to be able to run the ball, and it opened everything up. The only thing I can say about the Bills offensively that's like a little bit negative from today is they seem to find themselves in a lot of fourth downs. It's like every time I look up, it's 4th and 2. And today they were converting a lot of them, but when you miss 50% of them, or you only get like a third of the times when it's 4th and 2, 4th and 3, that can have a massive swing on a game.
Well, I'm going to kick it to you, Hank, but off of what PFT said, obviously the talk is going to be Mac Jones because he didn't play well, and the quarterback always gets the majority of the headlines. And I think Mac Jones is going to be fine overall. This, like you said, one game doesn't really matter in terms of a career. The shocking part about today was the defense, which the Patriots have had a great defense back-to-back weeks now. They've kind of been low-key gashed, both through the run against the Colts and then now through the pass against the Bills. That was the part where I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and that's kind of the part that the reason why everyone thought they were going to be the Super Bowl is because their defense was playing so well. And again, like the games early on in the season, everyone's, coming at the Patriots saying everything like they've gone to shit. But in the fourth quarter, they were down one score. Josh Allen threw an interception to J.C. Jackson that he just dropped in the Bills' territory, that if he got that ball, the Patriots easily could have won the game, and we'd be having a different conversation. So, yeah, it's bad they lost, and Buffalo has my number. They played a better game. People can say whatever they want. But it's not like it's not like, we got beat 56-7 with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Oh,
yeah, that's
not talking about anyone specific.
No, it's just a hypothetical. Like, if that had happened,
no, Hank, you're lashing out. You're lashing out.
Disavow my team completely.
Hank's been out all day in the sun, so he takes it out on the other Redskins. I get it. That's fine. I think one thing you don't know, Hank, this might be the first time somebody brought this setup to you. This is the first time that a team playing against Bill Belichick has not had to punt.
That is, well, they literally went for it on every fourth down. The Patriots actually went for it on fourth down, which is a huge sign of progress. It has helped me, be okay with fourth downs, but it's the fourth down thing stresses me out. The other good thing about the Patriots, giving up the 1 seed and losing the AFC East is that they've been terrible at home all season, so we don't want to play at home.
Oh, got it. That's chess, not checkers.
Yeah, like the Cardinals. You could say the same thing for Arizona too. They're actually doing good by Liz. Also, we just down to punt at the 1 inch line, bitch. What's up with that?
Wow, that's huge.
In your face, Hank.
All right, so last thing about this game. Well, Josh Allen, that drive he had when it was 26-21 and he went 75 yards, that was like big boy. That was a big boy drive. And
he had a couple of the fourth down throws were like they were big throws. He was playing again. He was playing really well.
He played awesome. So last thing is I think the Patriots still make the playoffs. Because I think they have – who do they have left?
They have Jacksonville.
Oh, so yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. And it's okay. Like, what you're doing as a fan, I think is total – like, you're basically saying we just got to try to win one game because we've got a rookie quarterback in the playoffs.
There's also
it's a little different than the soupy talk, but I understand where you've landed.
Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, though, but if the Dolphins win out, don't they make the playoffs over the Patriots?
Yes, because they beat in week 1.
And they
so it's going to come down to that last game.
It's that would be a disaster.
Okay.
Oh my God, Jake stepping over
Best
you
in the
again.
Office. Yeah.
Oh, it would be. I did. You said you talked about the shower and thinking about the Super Bowl. I spent some time in the ocean today just thinking about like the Dolphins beating the Patriots in Week 18 and just everything falling to shit.
Yeah.
Highs and lows.
Last thing on this game, the reporter who asked Bill Belichick if he has any New Year's resolutions.
Hi, football aside, sorry, but I'm doing a story about New Year's resolutions, and I was just wondering if you had any you wanted to share with your fans and our readers.
Yeah, no, not right now.
Okay, thanks.
That was the ballsiest question of all time. It was incredible.
That lady is braver than Jim Cantor, the guy from the Weather Channel, that his job is to just straight up like walk into a hurricane in a t-shirt and just scream into the camera. Like, I know you have to ask the question, but you have to have some balls to be able to follow through on that.
It's crazy.
I guarantee you Belichick has like 9 New Year's resolutions, but he's not going to tell anyone.
Yeah, and he, especially not this week, next week maybe.
Stop the run.
Yeah, stop the run. All right, let's go on. Congrats to the Bills. That's a fucking huge win. It's what we said. The best part of the
wagon.
Yeah, the best part about sports is you get to do it all again. Like, they lost that game. We left Buffalo listening to the radio, and Bills fans were like, "This team's soft. It's terrible. They suck." And then they were able to right all those wrongs. Now, the Bills, like, watch out. Next week they play the Falcons in Buffalo. That feels like such a letdown spot because the Bills
the Falcons.
The Bills can go. The Bills can win the AFC East, host a playoff game if they win out, which they have the Falcons and the Jets. So they should do that. But it is sports. Who the fuck knows?
No, the Falcons are going to lose. The Falcons have been outscored by like 140 points against teams that are above 500.
No, I know. We said that last Sunday.
Good.
Yeah.
The Bills should win that one. And I still stand by my take that these Bills they're like built to win the Super Bowl, the game in Los Angeles. They're probably not built to win playoff games, multiple playoff games in the cold. But if they can get to the Super Bowl, I think they can win the Super Bowl.
All right. So Rams Vikings is next up. Matt Stafford, he was so bad today. It was this was actually a new way for the Vikings to lose, where they should have won this game just by the fact that Matt Stafford threw 3 picks. Like 2 of them, I think, were red zone, like in their own red zone. So the Vikings just turned around, weren't able to get touchdowns, and the Vikings gave up a special teams touchdown. I was looking it up. Matt Stafford this year is 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in all games not played in NFC North buildings, and then 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in games played in NFC North buildings. So I think it's just Lions Matt Stafford is used to playing in these different buildings, and the bad Matt Stafford comes out because he was so bad, but the Rams were able to do enough defensively to win this game, and they clinched. They didn't clinch the AFC or the NFC West, but they're pretty damn close, I think. I think they have to win one more.
Here's a fun stat. The Vikings are 2-5 when they win the turnover battle. That's very tough to do.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Very tough to do. And they squandered away a chance to score a touchdown. I forget which turnover it was, but they had the ball on like maybe the 15-yard line, and they just couldn't do it. If you look at a drive chart of what the Vikings did, especially in the first half, they couldn't do shit. They were just like, it was 3 plays for 1 yard, 3 plays for 1 yard. That's why I'm saying, like, Kirk is not a great fit for the way that this team's built. I think they need a little bit of a gunslinger. They need somebody that is going to throw more interceptions because they're going to take more chances.
Yeah, well, and the one intercept, I mean, they had some unlucky bounces too. They had a touchdown that went off a receiver's hands. If you can touch it, you can catch it.
That's still kind of a bad throw.
Yeah, but to have it bounce off your hands and right into the Rams defensive back, like that was a pretty unlucky bounce. The Vikings are not. I mean, they weren't going to be a playoff team because this has been their MO all year. They squander away games they should win. I think they dropped to 16% chance to make the playoffs, and the Rams, for everything that looked like it was like the Rams essentially at this point are just, can you survive Matt Stafford making doy plays? Because like the bad Matt Stafford shows up every now and then. And today they survived it, but will you survive it if he shows up in January with some of these throws? Some of them were really bad.
Sony Michel's pretty good. He's doing an okay job. I saw a headline that Cam Akers was going to come back. Didn't he tear his Achilles like 5 months ago?
5 months ago, yeah. It's crazy.
Isn't that impossible? What's he going to do? Is he just going to stand on the side? Like, you can't play running back in the NFL 5 months off an Achilles injury, can you?
How pissed do you think Russell Wilson is that someone else in the NFC West is coming back from a more significant injury on a faster timetable?
An injury that literally killed the best warrior of all time.
Correct. He's
an injury so bad they
mad.
named it after him.
He's got to be like, someone tear my Achilles for me so I can come back from it.
Bro Football Doc, can you let us know, like, what's the expected timetable on a return from Achilles injury?
Yeah, go ahead, Billy.
Depends on how much HGH they take.
Okay.
A moderate amount.
Cam Akers, how much do you think he took?
3 months, 3 IUs. We'll figure it out.
Okay. We'll get in the lab. But
how are you going to figure it out? You need to see his nipples?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
He needs to consult the bodybuilding.com forums before he can say. It'd be irresponsible of him as a doctor to speculate. Don't speculate on this podcast. He needs
someone to DM him. Jeff Bezos is doing a lot of HGH, huh, Billy?
Yeah, tons. He's jacked.
Is it me or do former LSU players always play better against Justin Jefferson just so that they can do the gritty?
Yeah, well, and Justin Jefferson and Odell were wearing shirts of each other before the game. They were really loving each other. They're twins, they say. So Odell, I mean, all he does is score touchdowns. So I guess
we freed him.
It worked. I still hope that there's a moment in January when Matt Stafford is not throwing it to him in a playoff game and he like flips out. That will be good entertainment. But the Rams are definitely back in that like short list of Super Bowl contenders, right?
Yeah. They're still frauds though.
Yeah, they probably are still frauds, but they still.
When I hear people talking about the Rams being actual Super Bowl contenders, I immediately judge their football knowing acumen because they're a finesse team.
Oh, so you do the tell me you don't watch football without telling me you don't watch football? Exactly.
Well, I mean, I'm a prisoner of the moment, and the last thing I remember is this Julian Edelman watching the Rams being like, finesse team.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the non-finesse part of their team is their defense is like Aaron Donald just keeps wrecking people. And Jalen Ramsey, Justin Jefferson, I think, ended up with like 130 yards, but only, I think I saw 40 of them came against Jalen Ramsey. He did a He can pretty much limit your best option if he's on him.
I'm still rooting for the Rams, though. I would like to see the Rams come out of the NFC just for the Matt Stafford Detroit people being happy. I got so many tweets from people last week saying, as a Detroit Lions fan, I'm rooting with my entire heart for Matthew Stafford to do well. I would count that as like, I don't know, 0.08 Super Bowls for the city of Detroit if Matt Stafford can win one this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, he loves Detroit, and he did like a lot on his way out, and it was one of those mutual, we got to split up because this isn't working out kind of situations. So I think Detroit fans still loving Matt Stafford is totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else? I mean, the Vikings are out. They're done. They're cooked. 16% to make the playoffs now, and they have to play the Packers.
I'd also like to stand up real quick for some Vikings fans out there because I saw that the takes are already – we're doing pre-takes of how much longer is Justin Jefferson going to be happy in Minnesota given their history with wide receivers that get really good and then end up turning their back on – it's too early. You can't put that on Justin Jefferson just yet. Let Minnesota enjoy Justin Jefferson at least for another year before you start planting the seeds of, the clock ticking and expecting for him to, flip out and try to lead the team. Just let Minnesota fans be happy with their new toy for just a little bit.
Well, Mike Zimmer's going to get fired, so you're going to get a new coach, and that kind of resets the clock there. I assume they'll find a way to try to get a new quarterback as well, although I think Kirk Cousins has like the only quarterback contract that is fully guaranteed. They owe like all the money to him. So, but it does feel like the end of an era. Like Mike Zimmer, I think most Vikings fans want to move on, and this team has been like just good enough to tease everyone in Minnesota and not done the small things well to just lose a lot of these games.
You know how they're taking Trevor Lawrence's advice under consideration when they're figuring out who the next head coach of the Jaguars is going to be? That's what the Vikings should do with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Be like, who do you want? Name your guy. He's going to be like Joe Brady. Good. Done.
Yeah. Find a way to get Joe Burrow. All right. Let's go to that game, the Bengals-Ravens. I don't want to be a complain about Pro Bowl guy, but I want to complain about the Pro Bowl real quick, if I may. Lamar Jackson should not have made the Pro Bowl. Lamar Jackson made the Pro Bowl over Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. That's crazy to me. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, by any statistical analysis, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow have had better seasons than Lamar Jackson.
It's fan votes, though. So, the way that the counts shoot up in the middle of the night is very suspicious for everybody.
It's bullshit. I found myself I was like, do I really want to get upset about this? And then I started looking at their stats. I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I am a little bit upset about this. I want to be honest with my emotions and not hide this. What are you going to say, Hank?
I just think that one other thing, another reason why the Pats might have lost is that Jordan. No, this is about the conversation. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde also got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. They also should have been Pro Bowlers, and so they just came out with a chip on their shoulder, which was bullshit. Because maybe if they made the Pro Bowl, they would have been celebrating, having a good Christmas with their family, and come out a little more lackadaisical. So I didn't appreciate that either. And and that's another. I'm a Bills fan. I'm a little bit of a Bills guy because I agree they should have been Pro Bowlers. So there you go.
You remember after that Week 13 Super Bowl, Hank, when they asked him, like, wasn't that a little bit embarrassing for you? And they said, yeah, we're going to remember this. You know what? I'm going to remember this question. They remembered the question.
Yeah.
That was dumb. Belichick should have had that journalist executed for even putting that in their minds to give them that bulletin board material.
Rat poison.
But it's rat poison. So it's just all about like which teams have the biggest fan base and biggest like social media following. So,
pick it up, Bengals fans.
All you have to do is just retweet, and then that person makes the Pro Bowl. That's what it comes down to. So, Joe Burrow obviously is like he's in that elite category.
Yeah,
he's elite-ish. That's very close to being elite.
He had 525 yards today. I mean, the Ravens are a disaster in terms of now COVID and injuries. Josh Johnson, I don't know what the term should be for journeyman. Like when people say the journeyman Josh Johnson, that doesn't do it justice. He has played for every team in multiple leagues.
And he's only made $7.8 million. I have a list of every team that he's played for. I'm going to run through it real quick. the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the San Francisco 49ers, the Sacramento Mountain Lions, the Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, the 49ers, the Bengals again, the Jets, the Colts, the Bills, the Ravens, the Giants, the Texans, the Raiders, the Redskins, the San Diego Fleet, the Lions, the Wildcats, the 49ers, the Jets again, and the Ravens again.
It's crazy.
His realtor must be rich as hell.
It's crazy. And he's a 4-time All-Pioneer Football League. That's one of his career highlights. So there you go.
He's a mercenary. He's probably the best emergency quarterback of all time. I don't know what it is about Josh Johnson, why he's never had a team that wants to commit to him, that wants to be like, you can be our full-time backup quarterback. They just want to, pump and dump him. They just want to smash and they're just like, somebody commit to Josh Johnson.
I think it's probably a little too late, but it's nice that it's a good job that he's got where he just floats around and especially in COVID times, he's a perfect guy. He's NFL ready at all times. That's what you get. And AFL and USFL and XFL, any league, Josh Johnson's ready for it. That's what he's shown. Mm-hmm. That's what his resume has shown. That's a rare skill set. Like, you wouldn't say Tom Brady's ready for the USFL. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to go play in that league. Josh Johnson will play anywhere, anytime, any league. Just give him a fucking jersey and a set of pads. He's ready to go.
Yeah, he can pick up any playbook in like 3 days. He's the best. If you had to draft quarterbacks like of all time for one guy that you would want on 3 days notice, I think Josh Johnson is 1-1 overall.
Yeah. He's ready to go at all times. Joe Burrow is awesome. The Ravens are dead. I think they dropped to 32% chance to make the playoffs, but it feels like everything has just gone. They've had the snake-bitten season from hell in terms of injuries and COVID and the fact that Tyler Huntley was playing decently as Lamar's backup and then he gets COVID and Lamar's not healthy enough to play. Like, I don't think you can take anything away from this year other than they just had a shitload of bad luck go against them. But the Bengals, now AFC North #1. I saw a stat. This is pretty awesome for Bengals fans. This is one that if I were a Bengals fan, I would write this stat out and put it underneath my pillow and just sleep on it every night. The Bengals are the first team in NFL history to have 2 receivers have 1,000 yards under the age of 23 in the same season. So
That's
T.
sweet.
Higgins is 22 and Jamar Chase is 21. I'd bring that up to everyone I ever saw. I would just be like dreaming about it every night. To have 2 guys that good under the age of 23 and Joe Burrow, who's going to be a superstar, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I can't remember the Bengals being this exciting on offense since, 2004, when they had Carson Palmer, Ocho Cinco, Uzmanzada. That was a fun team to watch. This team gives me, offensively, they feel like that team.
Well, we should say that their offense hasn't been that good recently. They played the Ravens today. Like, everyone gets good against the Ravens defense. So they've had some bumps in bad games where they haven't been lighting it up, but maybe this is the springboard they get to bringing back that. I think I saw Jamar Chase. He didn't have. I don't think he's had more than 60 yards. Maybe he did today, but he had a month and a half where he didn't have more than 60 yards receiving. So it kind of hit a blip there. But again, maybe this is the springboard to bring it all back to what it was in the beginning of the season.
I have a very important question about the lore of the Cincinnati Bengals. So they say "Who Dey." The New Orleans Saints say "Who Dat." It's the exact same cheer, but the Bengals say "Who Dey," say they're going to beat them Bengals. Who had "Who Dey, Who Dat" first? Which came first?
Jake, can you look that up?
Yeah,
find that for us.
Because I'm sure it'll be one of those situations where every Cincinnati source says that the Bengals did it. Every New Orleans source says that the Saints did it. But we need to get to the bottom of that and give it credit where it's due.
I feel like the Bengals might have been first.
Who Dat chant started in the late 1960s. So
okay.
Who Dey?
I see 1983 for Who Dat.
We got
conflicting sources.
Billy's trying to step in my lane here.
Yeah, he is.
What was the show called? Salisbury?
Yes.
Clayton
Salisbury, yeah. You never even played the game, Jake. You don't know who came up with that chant first.
I see 1981 Bengals, 1983 Saints off of first glance.
Whoa.
Okay. I need to know more about the history.
So
you know what?
That comes from jazz performers. It was a chant that was used in Louisiana.
This is great. You guys could go for the rest of the night trying to outsource each other, and Billy will not admit defeat. But
The earliest documented use of the phrase in Louisiana can be found in a July 30th, 1852 New Orleans Daily Picayune article.
Nailed it.
So it was in Louisiana first.
Okay, as far back as the 1800s is what we're hearing. But it predated the Saints even. It predated the sport of football. So you know what this feels like? I'm calling my shot right now. If the Bengals make the playoffs, which it looks like they've got a pretty good shot to do at this point, this is going to be like ESPN Sunday Countdown Special, the history of Who Day, the Who Day chant.
And that one guy, they have to play the Chiefs next week, so that's not going to be easy. And then they have to finish against the Browns, who they did kill. Or no, they got killed by the Browns. That's right. They got smoked by the Browns. So we'll see. That would suck. That would be very Bengals for this to fall apart in the last 2 weeks. But either way, put that stat underneath your pillow and remember Joe Burrow is your quarterback for the future, and you have a franchise quarterback. And Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow, it's one of those things that, like, if you watch it, you see it. It's all about his ability to just move in the pocket and sense pressure. Like, either guys have it or they don't. It's sensei shit. You know what I mean? Like, what makes a guy have that it factor? It's does he feel like he has eyes in the back of his head when he can, like, slide up with an oncoming rusher coming at him? And he has that.
He had another sick incompletion today where he spun out of 2 sacks and then he threw it downfield. I think there was a penalty that was called on it, but the pass fell incomplete. It was amazing, though. I watched it, and just watching him operate in the pocket is impressive for any quarterback, but it's like double impressive for a guy that's coming off an ACL. To be able, like, if I tore my ACL, I don't think I would never want to be around anyone that was bigger than me ever.
Yes.
I would just be afraid of things falling on my leg at all times. But he's almost playing like with more confidence than he did before he got hurt. It was very funny when he was saying earlier in the week, like, what's the Bengals' secret to not getting any people on the COVID list? He's like, well, it's Cincinnati, so there's really not that much to do. So we just kind of play football, hang out with each other.
Yes.
And then I started to think about, because we've been to Cincinnati a couple times, like, what is there to do in Cincinnati? They have that Hooters that's on the river.
Skyline.
Skyline Chili.
Once a year, Cincinnati plays Xavier, and everyone gets in a fight.
Yeah. Keeping a safe distance from all gorilla enclosures.
Yep.
That's a new favorite pastime.
Huge.
High-level college soccer. No, high-level high school soccer is big in Cincinnati, too.
Yes. Shout out Moeller Soccer, Mike Welker. How about rooting for Ohio State until Cincinnati makes the playoff, then rooting for Cincinnati? I
like that. Yeah, that's good.
That was actually mean. I know Cincinnati fans actually root for Cincinnati. But
going to Kentucky.
It's actually the opposite. Ohio State fans, there will be Ohio State fans who will be like, this counts as an Ohio State Final Four here because Luke Fickell's an Ohio State guy, and those are all Ohio kids that just weren't good enough to go to Ohio State. So I take everything back. Cincinnati, you don't let Ohio State fans join your bandwagon. You deserve this.
Every Ohio State fan has like a cousin that went to Cincinnati, and that cousin would come over to watch college football with them and was always, just nice and hanging out, having a good time at the house, knowing that, I root for a second-tier school and just kind of being supportive of the general Ohio State vibe. You don't get to then claim that guy's Cincinnati victories.
Yes.
You don't get to flip it on them like that. This is for the city of Cincinnati. This is the winner of Cincinnati now.
Yes. Last thing about this game, John Harbaugh was upset that the Bengals were dialing up pass plays to get Joe Burrow over 500 passing yards.
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh, wasn't it like 3 weeks ago that you were running the ball to try to get 100 yards rushing?
Totally different.
The Harbaughs are I love them so much, but they are so blinded by competitive rage when they lose, and he really doesn't see how this is hypocritical whatsoever at all. And I love that about them because the Harbaughs, losing, I want my coach to have losing be almost like poison, like acid on your tongue. And for the Harbaughs, losing is like that. They become depressed. They become like sad human beings. They yell about the rules. They're not good losers, and I actually love that about them because way too often in life, people are like, you got to be a good loser. No, fuck it. Losing sucks. Don't be a good loser. Be a bad loser.
You show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser.
Right. Like, fuck that.
Name any, thinking back to history's greatest winners. I don't know any of them that are good winners.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, you wouldn't say Tom Brady is a gracious winner. He wants to rip your throat out. He wants to stomp on you.
He still wants to get after everyone who passed up on him in the draft 6 times over. Like, I have no problem with John Harbaugh being upset. Yes, it's a little hypocritical, but the guy's a Harbaugh. Harbaugh's win. And when they don't win, they complain about not winning and say it's not fair.
He's Andy from The Office.
Yeah, it's fucking, that's a Harbaugh through and through. They'll fucking bitch and moan until they win. Like that, it's just what they do.
Yeah. You know who the best winner is? You can be a great winner to the point where it's disrespectful, and that's fine. That's the old Jake Marsh. That's the old double sportsmanship.
Yes.
But when you lose, I would be mad if I was an owner and my head coach was like, I'm proud of everybody. I thought that we fought our guts out today. At some point, that gets like the whole Dan Campbell thing. Like I guess he's probably the best loser that we have right now.
Well, this is actually a good segue to a loser that loves fighting and just keeps on taking losses. We'll do Eagles-Giants. Eagles 34, Giants 10. Joe Judge is back. That guy likes to lose and just talk about the locker room's changing and the culture's changing, but I just keep eating losses until I can't eat losses anymore. Joe Judge and Daniel Jones are reportedly back. I assume, for Giants' sake, that means Dave Gettleman's retired or fired. He's probably going to retire because, like, the whole classy thing that the Giants do.
The Maras.
Yeah, the Maras. This would drive me insane if I were a Giants fan. Like, how stupid it is to fire or retire, let's be classy, Dave Gettleman, but keep the coach and the quarterback. Like, what? The new GM is not going to want either of these guys there. He's going to show up and be like, when can I fire you?
Yeah, it's bad for Daniel Jones and Joe Judge. I almost feel bad for them having to stick around and just knowing that the next guy is going to want to get rid of you immediately. And it's crazy. Like, the Giants are doing the exact same thing that the Yankees just did with Aaron Boone. They're like stability. Good franchises have stability, which is true to a certain extent, but you're not really having stability. No. You're going to be getting rid of the guy that's in charge of the ship. And you're like, you know what? The sails and the wheel of the ship, they still work pretty good. Let's just get a new captain, and he's going to want to change the entire thing out.
It's not stability when you've lost 10 games or more every single season for 5 straight seasons. I think it's 5 straight seasons. Dave Gettleman.
That is stability, Big Cat.
That is stability. It's bad stability. You want to maybe, rock the boat a little bit. Dave Gettleman is 19-44 as a general manager. And the worst part is, like, the NFC East has been the worst division for like 2 out of the last 3 years, but it doesn't take a lot to win the NFC East, and he hasn't even sniffed it. He hasn't even come close to it.
Yeah, I don't know what it says about Dave Gettleman. Why did Dave Gettleman get this chance to lead the Giants? Is it just because he's as close as you can get to Bill Parcells without actually hiring Bill Parcells?
And he went to a Super Bowl with the Panthers.
Cam Newton went to a Super Bowl.
Right, but Dave Gettleman was the architect of that team. So that's
of drafting Cam Newton, the best college player in the history of college football. They had the number 1 pick. He took him, and then he proceeded to alienate a lot of his good players. He got Josh Norman out of there. Like, I don't know what Dave I really do think that he just reminds the Maras of Bill Parcells, and they're like, okay, here's a guy that everybody hates. You know who else everybody hated? Bill Parcells, until he started winning football games. Let's get this guy.
They want like true blue football guys in for the Giants, to where, like, Tom Coughlin was not enough. Now we need Dave Gettleman. It's crazy. Like, we know Giants fans. We have friends that are Giants fans. They're going through torture. It is actual torture what's happening to them, because they've had like top 10 picks, I think 3 out of the last 4 years. Again, the NFC East is very winnable. Every year a new team wins it. It's, like teams rise out of nowhere and win the NFC East. The Giants are 22-58 since the boat picture. That's so bad. I think that's 5 seasons. That's insane how bad they have been. And they're being tortured by, I love Daniel Jones. I wouldn't give Daniel Jones another year. And I'm probably the last Daniel Jones believer because he's won me money. And that's really the only affinity I have towards the guy. That you can't do it.
Daniel Jones needs to spend the entire summer with Cutcliffe. He needs to go back and how some golfers, they'll just reinvent their entire swing in an offseason. Daniel Jones needs to come back and just tell everybody, I've reinvented my mechanics.
Yeah.
I tore the entire thing down. I started from scratch because I think he could still be a decent quarterback. There's some times when I watch Daniel Jones play and I'm like, he's not that bad, but a lot more times I'm like, yep, that's old Daniel Jones. I know you believe him a lot more than I do.
I do just because he's won me money. I don't actually believe in him. Daniel Jones has been the test. When he got drafted, I said this, there's never been a quarterback in the history of football who was average in college and then went on to be a superstar in the NFL. It doesn't happen. You're not just okay at Duke and then all of a sudden you're a franchise quarterback. The guys who are franchise quarterbacks looked good in college at some point.
Tim Boyle, UConn standout.
TB12.
So we can get to TB12 later, but yeah, but you could also say, Big Cat, that there's never been a quarterback in the history of the NFL that's looked more like an NFL quarterback than Daniel Jones. He just face it. The man looks like an NFL. He's going to keep getting jobs for the next 15 years because he looks 100% like a generic NFL quarterback.
Yeah, he's a generic video game. Yeah, you're right. It's crazy to me too because the Giants they have the perfect reset button right here. They have 2 picks in the top 10. They why wouldn't you just clean house top to bottom and be like, all right, this clearly hasn't worked. I know we told you guys we were going to rebuild. Now we have to rebuild again, but at least we have draft capital and hit it. The firing of a GM and not of a coach is one of the dumbest things that a pro sports team can do.
Yeah, I feel bad for Joe Judge. That's got to be a weird relationship he's going to be in from the get-go.
Yeah.
Where the first time he shakes the dude's hand, he's like, okay, this is the guy that's going to fire me. Nice to meet you. I'm Joe Judge. Unless, and I think we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, they just turn the entire operation over to Joe Judge and let him be the GM. He becomes the new Bill O'Brien. Then he can fire himself as head coach.
Yep.
And then hire a head coach underneath him. That's really the best way out of this mess for them. I just feel bad for the entire city of New York. Just sports in general in New York have had, ever since de Blasio, right? Just a bad run. Actually, no, I take that back. NYCFC, the MLS team, just won the MLS
That's
Cup.
That's a fact. The Jake Fromm, that was bad. That was really bad. He was 6 for 17 for 25 yards. That was really bad. It was so bad, I went back and I looked because I was like, why did I think Jake Fromm was really good? After the championship game against Alabama when Tua came in relief of Jalen Hurts and won that game on that walk-off, I walked away from that game being like, Jake Fromm's really fucking good. So I went back and I looked. It was 2 things. It was because he didn't even have a good game in that game. He had 2 interceptions. I think he was 50% completion. He does the flip thing with the ball, and then also he threw 1 perfect pass. I watched the highlight because I wanted to feel what I was feeling. I had bet Georgia in that game money line, and he threw a perfect pass underneath McCole Hardman for an 80-yard touchdown for Georgia to go up 20-6 in the third quarter. And I remember that moment being like, I just made the greatest bet of my life. That was so smart of me. And that's why I thought Jake Fromm was good until today when I was like, wait, he really, really sucks. So up, I was wrong.
It's rare that we get to see a quarterback come in their first real action and get to just definitively be like, okay, not going to be doing anything with this guy.
Mike Glennon came in.
We tried, yeah.
Mike Glennon replaced him. And
didn't Mike Glennon have 80 yards? It's tough when you have 2 separate quarterbacks play and they both throw for fewer than 100 yards.
Yes. And the Eagles, I'm a believer in what the Eagles are building. I know you and Julian Edelman are not.
Whoa. Don't drag. I do think that they're building something good.
Yeah, you and Jules were kind of.
No, that was Jules. Listen, I've got deep ties to the city of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Deep ties. I played against Temple once when I was playing rugby in college.
There we go.
Love the city. Love everything about it. No, I do think that the Eagles are building something good. I like Jalen Hurts. I think I like Jalen Hurts more than you do, Big Cat.
No, not recently. I've been very much sold on him. It's more that they've built the offense like to his strengths, and he's a little hurt right now, so they haven't his running hasn't been as good. But I think Nick Sirianni deserves like a shitload of credit. I know we've joked about him, but the Eagles are doing so. Their defense is playing well. They sleptwalked the first half, like total sleptwalk. It was gross. I watched the entire game. It was gross. And then the second half, they woke up and they're like, oh, yeah, we're playing the Giants. We should kick the shit out of them. So they've gone now 9 straight games with 130 yards rushing. They haven't. I can get behind any team that has an identity and they know exactly what they want to do, because it feels like there's something about it, because there's so many teams that just don't know what they want to do and they just fucking fly by the seat of their pants. The Eagles know exactly what they want to do. Sometimes it might not work against superior teams, but for the most part, it's going to get them most likely to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think having Lane Johnson back is a big help for them too. It was so cool to see him score that touchdown today. It was. And then he did the little jump into the stands like the refs did in Green Bay. But yeah, Lane Johnson and then Kelsey obviously at center. He's a guy that, like, there are a few offensive linemen in the league where you can count on them to have like league-wide highlights that will tell the story of that season. Like Trent Williams is one where you'll see him just like throwing a guy into the 4th row every year. You can count on that. And then there will also be a moment where Jason Kelsey is running 60 yards downfield, just shoving people. That man just loves to sprint and shove people, like with each arm, pushing people over, outrunning his halfback and getting down the field before he does. He's so much fun to watch.
Yes. Yeah, their offensive line and defensive line are both awesome. All right. Texans 41, Chargers 29. The Chargers, what the fuck?
So the Chargers, I don't want to call them frauds, although this was a fraudulent loss. I would rather look back at.
They had a lot of COVID.
Yeah, a lot. Well, so did the Texans. The Texans had 23 guys.
But if your players suck and you have COVID, it doesn't really matter. If your players are good and you have COVID, it does matter. Like the Chargers' defensive line without Bosa is completely different.
Yeah, it was Berman that used to call these Chargers the yeah butts, right? It would be the Jaguars and the Chargers would be known as the yeah butts, where it's like, yeah, they're really good, but when they have COVID, they stink. And the Charger, I still think the Charger, I can't fully quit them just yet. And this might be my future that I have on them talking. In fact, it probably is.
Wait, but didn't it lose today?
Yeah, it lost today, but I also have another future. I'm heavily leveraged in Chargers futures right now.
Got it. Because the AFC West was decided today.
That was decided today. It was a hat game for the Chiefs, but now I've still got some money sitting out there on the Chargers. I don't know. They're just, when they play well, they can beat anybody. But then today was like, what the fuck is going on? Davis Mills looked good though. He looked very good today.
I'm Mills Mafia. When we were joking about it, you found that article where they're like, is Davis Mills the future? I was like, he might be. He's actually, again, if he stayed at Stanford, he would probably be a top 10 pick because he was so highly recruited and he's got obviously a lot of the abilities. He played well. He outplayed Justin Herbert, which is crazy to say, but he absolutely did.
Is he the best quarterback from Stanford?
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides Andrew Luck and John Elway, I think you have to put him at least in the top 3.
And Costello. They all are the same. They're all like the exact same guy. In the last 5 years, ever since Andrew Luck, they've just had lesser versions of Andrew Luck that they found like a cheap Chinese knockoff of Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And they're just throwing him out there.
Shout out though to the Texans. This game was David Culley's masterpiece. When he looks back in 20 years and he's telling his kids about the one season he got to be an NFL head coach, he's going to point to this game and be like, they counted us out. No one thought that we could win. We all had COVID. And the boys rallied together, and we beat the Chargers, and they were favored by double digits. This is probably the highlight of his coaching career. So congratulations to David Culley.
Yeah, and Rex Burkhead ran for fucking 122 yards. It was crazy. The big question coming out of this game, and we'll move on in a second, did Brandon Staley get scared out of going for 4th downs? Because he didn't go for one today. He didn't go for one. And that might be because of all the COVID. No Austin Eckler. No, I think Mike Williams was out. Like, they clearly had a different roster. So maybe that's why. But holy shit, that just put a tickler. Like, is he starting to get bullied a little bit? I don't know, because I looked back at the game and there was a couple fourth downs that felt like it was what he was doing last week against the Chiefs, and he wasn't doing it this week. Maybe it was the roster. Maybe it was who was playing today.
I think I heard Booger say this, that the Chargers let one loss become two losses. They're still thinking about that Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yep, that's true. That's a fact. All right. Before we get to the next game, PFT, you got a quick ad.
Yeah, before we jump into the next one, I want to talk to you about Sling TV. We love Sling over here at Barstool. You can go to sling.com/Barstool, sign up right now, get your first month starting at just $10. If you love watching live sports, but you're tired of the high prices, it's time to take control of your TV experience. It's time that you got Sling. We hear from people all the time who want to cut the cord, who want to be done with their cable, but they're afraid, they're frustrated, they don't know how to sign up for a service that will let them continue to watch all the live sports that they need to watch. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you it's Sling. Sling is the place where your favorite sports channels, ESPN, FS1, TNT, and more are all together for less. It's the cheapest way to get the best NFL viewing experience on TV, the NFL Red Zone. With the Sling Blue and Sports Extra package, you get Red Zone, NFL Network, and more for only $21 your first month. Plus, you can watch past episodes of Part of My Take, The Yak, Stool Streams, and exclusive new Barstool content for free on the Barstool Sports channel on Sling. It's easy to set up, easy to use, no contracts. Starts at just $35 a month. Sign up now. Get your first month for just $10. Whatever you're into, Sling is where you can find the live sports that you love, all in one place. Go to sling.com/Barstool. Sign up now. Get your first month starting at just $10.
Okay, Bucs Panthers. Easy win for the Bucs. We all expected this. Is Matt Rule okay though? Because quote, he had a quote afterwards. He said, "I believe it's 1,000% working. I just know no one can see it, and I apologize. As I tell our team all the time, it took Jay-Z 7 years. He had to start his own agency to become an overnight sensation. It takes time."
Yeah, no,
What?
I don't know. I did not expect Matt Rule to be quoting Jay-Z. He seems like a Jimmy Buffett guy.
Oh.
He gives me strong Margaritaville vibes, which isn't a knock against the guy, but I think we've officially reached the Matt Rule is trying too hard to save his job phase.
I would say so. When he's switching back and forth between Sam Darnold and Cam Newton, I think he's just mashing all the buttons. He's going to rage quit this season and unplug his controller and throw his Xbox across the room. That quote is. It took Jay-Z 7 years to become an overnight sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Does that?
Does
he know what overnight sensation means?
I think he's saying that it wasn't an overnight sensation for Jay-Z. He had to do all the work behind the scenes that nobody saw, and then everybody thinks that he was an overnight sensation. So right now,
but no one thinks that. No one thinks he was.
No one does.
Yeah, no one thinks he was an overnight. Like everyone knows Jay-Z's story.
Yeah, no, he was very much in the public eye.
Yeah,
going all the way back to like I remember first hearing about Jay-Z in like the mid '90s.
Does this Matt Rule think that he's got like next year is going to be his reasonable doubt?
Next year is Hard Knock Life.
Yeah, he's getting the material for Hard Knock Life right now. He should have said when Jay-Z is rapping about all the stuff that he used to do, it's because he actually used to sell drugs. This is Matt Rule hitting the streets with like an ounce of just like pure uncut Peruvian flake. Well, I was going to say going back and forth between Sam Darnold and Cam Newton for the viewer, that's no different than fentanyl. Like,
yeah,
he's just going to try to kill us all. What's going on? It was brutal to watch.
Matt Rule just he's not having any fun. I think he thought that the NFL would be a lot more fun and easy. Which how dumb are college coaches for being so smart and so successful in college? Guys like Matt Rule, Urban Meyer to a certain extent, it literally never works.
No,
ever.
It never worked.
The only coach that I can think of that it worked for was Jimmy Johnson. Besides that, has there been a good college coach that's come to the Harbaugh, for a little bit.
But the difference is, and I don't know, maybe Matt Rule did have a little bit of NFL. That was a big thing with Urban Meyer, though. Like, you have to have some NFL experience or some kind of deal, like being around the NFL. Like Jimmy Johnson was, he might be the one exception then, because he went to the Cowboys directly from Florida. But like Pete Carroll was a head coach in the NFL, then he was at USC, then he came back to the NFL. Like, Jim Harbaugh played in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, you have to it's crazy. Matt Rule, I also think Matt Rule might think that NFL contracts are fully guaranteed and very literal, because I looked it up. He does have a 7-year contract. So maybe that's what it is. He's like, I got 7 years to turn this thing around, not realizing that that's not how it works.
Yeah, and I feel like the terms of most head coaches in the NFL, they don't say how much they're getting paid, right? You don't have to tell anybody.
Yeah, I think some of them are public.
It doesn't, like the Gruden one was public, but that's just because Mark Davis wanted to brag that he had that much money. He was able to afford John Gruden. But yeah, I don't see any of these college coaches ever having fun. Think about that. When was the last time you saw a college coach that came to the NFL and actually looked like he enjoyed his job being an NFL coach? Maybe Matt Rule thinks that they're going to get to a bowl game afterwards, which, there should be bowl games for NFL teams. Big Ben should get to play in like the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl.
That would be
against
fun.
Matt Rule and the Panthers.
We would watch. If it was just a random Wednesday in between the first round and the second round, we'd fucking watch. We'd absolutely watch. The Bucs easily. I don't know. This was like we expected this. Even with all the injuries, Tom Brady's not going to lose 2 games in a row, especially against a team like the Panthers. I did appreciate Antonio Brown just being like a colossal asshole to reporters afterwards when they asked. It was the first time reporters got to talk to Antonio Brown, and they just basically asked like routine questions about the vaccine card thing, about Bruce Arians' comments, and he was like, "You guys are all just making stuff up. You're making drama up. I'm here to play football." It's like, well, you kind of make drama, dude. Like, you're the big drama show.
I mean, do you remember that like 3-week span a couple years ago where he was on the Raiders? He like froze his feet off in like some cryo chamber that he was not supposed to be in. He demanded to be released. And this was after where he got traded to the Bucs, but then demanded that he got traded to the Bills.
Yeah.
And then asked to come back, and then went out to the Raiders to get away from Pittsburgh. And then there were like 3 weeks where it was like a different Antonio Brown update. I was addicted to Antonio Brown news updates at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, drama just follows the guy wherever he goes.
It's unfortunate.
He's like, why are you asking me about that? Nothing happened.
It's unfortunate that the fake news media keeps reporting about things that Antonio Brown does.
Didn't he?
They're losers.
Yeah. What do you say, Bubba?
Didn't he show up to camp in a hot air balloon?
For the Raiders. Yeah. And he called. Jesus Christ. And the helmet thing, remember the whole helmet thing?
Oh yeah, he wanted to wear his own helmet. then he
wouldn't let him.
He dyed, remember he dyed his mustache like bright gold, and then did that interview with Jeff Darlington where they sat in the biggest room ever touching knees.
Yes. Listen, he said, here's the quote. He said, "I'm just here to do my job. I can't control what people write, how people try to frame me." Okay. It's like, I think framed. Most of it's been all facts, but either way, I appreciate Antonio Brown getting in front of the media and just being an asshole.
It's AB versus the world.
It's AB versus the world.
This is so confusing to me, though, how the Bucs are so good, but then they just always get their asses kicked by the Saints.
Yeah, it's just something.
Any team that's wearing those jerseys, every
Dennis
NFC
Allen.
South team should have the alternate jerseys where they're white and gold just for when they play the Bucs.
It is crazy. There's something about the Antonio Brown saga that I appreciate, and just that, like, this is how sports work, and it's funny to me when it gets exposed for what it is, and then people get upset about it. It's like, Antonio Brown's good. Antonio Brown helps the Bucs win games. Antonio Brown can be a shithead, and it won't matter. That's how it always works. It was just funny when it actually is laid out as a parent. Like Bruce Arians just essentially being like, yeah, things change. He can help us win. Who cares?
It's also funny that the reason that Antonio Brown got caught doing this was he yet again did not pay one of his contracts. He didn't pay the guy that made the fake vaccine card from him because he doesn't pay anybody. That's kind of his thing. He's like, oh, you want to cook my dinners for 6 weeks? That's great. Just bill me. I'll get around to it. He loves stiffing people.
Yeah.
He just stiffs everyone. He stiffed his fake ID guy.
And it bites you in the ass. Last 2 notes I had from this game, Keyshawn Vaughn, awesome name. That's the name that I would have created in Doug's era. I just like that name. And then Sam Darnold got booed when he was brought out for his first series. That's got to feel good. I think he's under contract for another year too. That was fun when we did the takes of like everyone passed on Sam Darnold. It's actually great that both of these guys, both Cam Newton and Sam Darnold, like I think Matthew Berry, you could probably find a tweet from him like in the first 3 weeks of the last 2 seasons being like, I can't believe people didn't pick up Sam Darnold or Cam Newton.
Why would you boo Sam Darnold, though? He doesn't want to be there either.
He doesn't want to be playing football, I don't think. He's not good at it. Like,
no.
Would you want to do something you're not good at all the time? That would suck.
That's my job.
That would suck.
No. Like, I agree with him. It's like you've just been booed for the last 4 years in New York. You've been under the bright lights. You thought maybe a change of pace would be nice, but no, it turns out it might not be. It might not be your location. It might just be the sport of football.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
But then he has to keep going out there literally every day. He either has to play football at a low level or he watches film of himself playing football at a low level.
Yeah.
Which is just torture.
Or maybe watching film of someone who played at a high level to show how bad he is.
Yeah. It's just torture for the guy. So don't boo Sam Darnold. Like, give him pity claps.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, he's going out there. He's trying his heart out.
When he makes a completion, give him claps. All right. His former team, moving on, Jets, Jaguars. Billy, your moment. Zach Wilson definitively did something sick.
He did something. He did the longest quarterback rush in Jets history. Memes had a great meme where he tweeted out he was basically Michael Vick.
Well, no, can we talk about that real quick? Because memes needs a little bit of defending, because this bums me out when the internet is a lot of younger people who just don't, like, they see something and they're like, oh, you got to delete that. That's so fucked up. Memes tweeted out the picture of white Mike Vick, which was a real segment, right? Wasn't it a real segment that ESPN
It was
did?
an article. It was an article that was written on ESPN.com and I think ESPN the magazine. And the headline of the article was, "What if Mike Vick was white?"
Right.
And that was the featured photo of it. And then it went through his career of how things would be different if Mike Vick was white. And everybody roasted the article when it came out because it was ridiculous. It was like, yeah, if a white guy had an underground dogfighting operation, I'm pretty sure that people would be mad at him too.
Right.
That's where the meme comes from.
Right.
Behind the memes.
And memes tweeted it. It sucks when you have to explain a joke. But the amount of people that, like, he asked me before, he's like, can I tweet this? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, if you don't get that joke, like, it's a joke about a bad article. We're not saying that he's white Mike Vick. And
we're not white facing Mike Vick.
Yeah, right. And the amount of people were like, you got to delete this. This will be deleted. Shame on you, people. Learn your fucking meme history. What'd you go to school for? If you can't know that white Mike Vick was an actual thing that ESPN posted.
Yeah, good job, memes.
Yes,
he
deserves
stay
the credit.
Strong.
I told him, I was like, don't
justify the memes.
When he was sitting right next to me, he's like, oh, people are roasting me. Like, we're not deleting this one because this one is people not fucking knowing their history. So
another big takeaway from this game was just the Jaguars continue to be led by losers, and they miss Urban Meyer.
Yeah. Billy, give us your thoughts. The Jaguars just didn't that run by Zach Wilson was hilarious because the Jaguars were like, nah, you just keep going, dude. He wanted to go out of bounds.
He slipped by. Yeah. I'm going to be honest. Jets are low-key electric. They may not have it all together yet, but Braxton Berrios taking it coast to coast, 103 yards on a kick return. Like, they have something going there. And little stat, this weekend, there was 5 big man touchdowns, 5 fat guy touchdowns.
Whoa.
One being Connor McDermott on the Jets. So, lots of stuff going in. 7 starters were out, and their head coach. They're under interim head coach Ron Middleton. So kind of like they squeaked out the win, but they were down big. They were down bad. They were
They handled adversity, which that's a big part of playing for the New York Jets is how you deal when everything goes to shit.
Wait, they weren't down big in this game.
No, down bad, like 7 guys out.
Oh, okay. I was yeah.
And 3 weeks without a Zach Wilson interception.
Crazy.
More touchdown passes in the first half than Trevor Lawrence in the past 7 games.
And Trevor Lawrence is a loser. So you're right about that. That spike he had on third down, what the fuck was that? That was crazy. Third down, if you didn't watch the game, which totally reasonable, it was third down, third and goal with 12 seconds left because he had thrown almost an interception that went to the 1 yard line, and he burned third down with the spike. It's like, why wouldn't you throw it to the end zone? It was crazy. So then they just had one play to win it, and they didn't. I think they had a penalty on the play, which wasn't a completion anyway. But yeah, that one made me think like he might actually be a bust. It was crazy.
Also, with the win from the Bears over Seattle, we have some sick draft picks coming up.
Yeah, how sick?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sick. I think we went from 9 to 7 or 8 to 7.
That's pretty sick.
That is sick.
Yeah. You currently have 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
Yeah.
That's big. You can rebuild a franchise with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach Wilson on that run, he looks faster in the all black uniforms. I think the Jets should wear the black uniforms more often.
I don't like them because they're the Eagles.
I like them, but
they
I
were
like
wearing the Eagles uniforms.
I know, but I like when the Eagles wear those all black uniforms.
Yeah, right. But the Jets shouldn't get
all black always plays.
The Jets shouldn't get to wear that's not the Jets uniform. That's the Eagles uniform.
I don't mind it. I just thought he looked a lot faster even though he did. To be fair, he didn't look fast. He just looked a lot faster than he should look.
Yeah, and the Jaguars players were actively. It was almost like a grade school. Like he had cooties. They were running away from him. I
think they forgot he had the ball halfway through that run. They're like, the guy that's like across the field was like, surely somebody's tackled Zach Wilson by now. I don't have to run that fast.
In that moment where he's like, I'm going to go out of bounds. Oh, wait, no one's going to try to tackle me? I guess I'll keep running. A great moment in Jets history. Billy, congrats on the win. Huge win. Also kept you barely alive, but you are alive in our contest to drive to L.A. Because if you had lost that, you would have went 0-4, and it would have been very, very tough to get out of that hole.
I'm just accepting. I'm already planning the trip. So.
Oh, okay. Nice.
You're planning it?
Yeah, I'm figuring out the stops, where we're gonna go.
I actually think that's fair.
I get excited about it, this is a cool restaurant.
Actually, no, second place should get to decide it.
Yeah, but Billy is really good at planning this sort of thing. And by really good, I mean he's going to turn into a complete shit show, which is kind of what this trip is supposed to be. I was thinking about it because somebody sent me a Google Maps trace along the route of how you're going to drive out there. I kind of want to lose now. I kind of want to make this trip.
You're doing this on purpose in case you fall apart.
No,
this is a way to win by losing.
No, I'm not. I saw that. And my initial reaction was when I look at the route, maybe I just love maps. That's probably it because I love a good map. But I got excited about seeing the country a little bit.
It's a long ass trip.
If you want to do a win or lose, you can take my spot. I would be willing to do that.
No.
Right now.
You'd make that sacrifice, Hank?
No.
I would. I want you to be happy. If you want to go, I don't want to hold you back from that.
We can't change it.
I appreciate that.
It's got to be second place and last place.
Hank, I want to accept your offer, but Big Cat won't let me.
I mean, it has to be. We can't do this shit. This is bullshit. This is just now we're just going to drive. Anyone who wants to decide can.
Let you change your pick, Big Cat.
I'm kind of down to go whatever.
Yeah, to a loser.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but this is ruining a great the entire thing. PFT is ruining by saying I actually want to lose.
No, I mean me.
It was supposed to be
convertible.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a punishment. Now it's this isn't even fun.
PFT, for what it's worth, you are mathematically safe from last place. You're 9 games up on Billy with 8 to go.
Okay,
there we go.
That's great.
And you also are mathematically you can't lose because you've basically said you wanted to lose. So then if you win, you won because you were the best, and if you lose, you wanted to lose. So you're good either way. You've got yourself in a great spot. I'm
not saying I want to lose at all. I'm just saying the thought occurred to me this is This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Get to see this beautiful country
Once
of
in a
ours.
lifetime. You can't maybe do it in the summer when it's actually great. That's the
No,
other
no,
part.
listen,
We've done Hank
I
and I have done this trip. It's not fun.
was looking at the route across
No, it's
across the
big.
north.
It's so fun.
It's
We could
so
maybe
fun,
stop
yeah.
and see the actual Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, dude. Rapid
Yeah.
City.
Go visit Danny Woodhead in Omaha.
That's the other thing is I don't know if you know, like you don't going to South Dakota would not be on the way.
We could make a right. We could.
This is like the
veer to
time when you
right.
said that we should, after New Orleans, the LSU national championship, we should get on a fan boat and go to Baton Rouge that night.
Oh yeah, that sounds like it would have been awful.
Yes, it would have. We had the fucking
I'm sorry,
best night of our lives in New Orleans where the party was.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm just saying it would be fun to go across the country. I like road trips. I like being
I
in
do
a
too.
car.
I like road trips as well. I do not want to go on one in January, and I also want to keep the spirit of the competition alive where it's punishment.
Okay, I really hope I don't lose.
There we go. Nice.
Bear Country, Rapid City.
Where's that?
It's one of the stops in Rapid City. It's just a giant park full of bears.
God damn it, Billy! Now I really want to go. Like,
And right next to
that
it is
rocks.
Reptile Garden, which won in 2014 for being the largest reptile zoo in America. Probably the world. I think it'd be
I mean, how can you not want to go on this trip?
Billy. All right, Falcons, Lions. I don't know what Dan Campbell is doing.
He's just going for it all the time. He lives his life with his foot on the gas.
No, but he wasn't. That's the point. He
faking punts?
No. Yeah, right. He was faking punts, and then with 2.5 minutes left on the 8-yard line, down 7, he kicked a field goal. It was one of the weirdest. Like, I like Dan Campbell. I don't want to bash him, but it was so dumb that I actually asked on Twitter. I was like, I thought I was like not understanding the score and the situation. That's how stupid it was that I had to ask out loud, like, am I missing something here? Is there some grand plan by Dan Campbell here? He literally, if you don't get it, you need to get a stop. If you kick a field goal, you need to get a stop. You need to get a stop.
Didn't he have timeouts left?
He had all 3 timeouts, but that's the point.
Right, so you can stop. You can get the ball back with 2 minutes left.
But you need a touchdown.
Right. You would need a touchdown, but then that next touchdown. So I'm just explaining what's going on in Dan's mind.
I don't think he knew what was going on in his mind. Like I've broken it down, and I could. It was baffling. It was extremely, like, a guy who's been pushing the right buttons and doing the fake punts and the onside kicks. To do that, I was like, what the hell's going on here?
So I found an article that says Dan Campbell explains late field goal decision that he made. It was just that I know I had 3 timeouts, and I had a feeling that Arthur Smith was going to be conservative, and we were going to be able to stop the run and get the ball back. I felt very good about getting the ball back, knowing that we would have plenty of time to go down and score. So he was reading Arthur Smith's mind, and he knew what Arthur Smith was going to do.
But also, if you don't get it, he's still going to be conservative, and you still have 3 timeouts, and you still need a touchdown.
Yeah. But then they got the ball back.
They did. They got a fumble, which I don't know if Dan Campbell planned for that. And then
he did.
I don't know if he planned for Tim Boyle to just miss the linebacker standing there in the middle of the field. But
I mean, that probably had something to do with his decision to kick the field goal. Was, do you trust Tim Boyle to score a touchdown on 4th down? Probably not. He was like, I'd rather take some points over no points.
But he still would have had to score a touchdown.
Yeah, later. But then he can still be like, remember, I got those points.
Maybe he's just covering. Maybe he was just covering. He did cover. So there it is.
Yeah.
He really has been like a great getting his guys to play for him, bad team, onside kicks, going for it on 4th down. And then he did that. While watching the game, I said out loud to memes, like, wait, they're kicking this? It made no sense whatsoever. So I don't know what to think of Dan Campbell anymore. Like, it broke my trust in Dan Campbell.
It's like, yes, it's not a good decision, but it's not the worst decision that you can make, because there was a lot of time left.
It's pretty bad.
They stopped him on those first 2. I think it was probably 3rd and 8 when they got that fumble. So it was working. Like the idea that Dan Campbell had in mind was working at that point, and you can still get the ball back. You got plenty of time to go down and score. I would have played for the touchdown if it were me. in Dan Campbell's brain, controlling his arms. But I understand the Dan logic behind it, the Dan analytics.
I don't, because if you don't get it, you're in the exact same spot. You need a touchdown to win, and you need to stop them first.
Now you can win, though.
You could win with a 2-point conversion. He's proven that he'd do that.
Yeah, but then that requires Tim Boyle to make 2 scoring plays consecutively. This one, you kind of spread out how great you need Tim to be over the course of probably like 7 or 8 plays. I'm just telling you what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me, but I get it.
It hurt me. It hurt me because I thought I knew Dan Campbell, and that one hurt. And then the only other thing from this game is Kyle Pitts is awesome. He's about to break the rookie record for tight end receiving yards, which is crazy that Mike Ditka's held it for this long. And Mike Ditka did do it in a 14-game season. Kyle Pitts is going to do it in a 18-game season. So, but still, he's been like everything as advertised.
Can we say that he's the one guy that you should use like a top 10 pick on for the tight end?
Yeah, I think
he's probably, because I'm still kind of torn by it because he's very much still just, he's a pass catching tight end and he's really fucking good at it. And he's probably going to be great for a decade if he stays healthy. But I don't know, using a top 10 pick on a tight end, unless it's a guy like Gronk, who can dominate the blocking game and the catching game. I don't know. I feel like if you're the Falcons, you probably got some other issues that you might wish that you have addressed at that point instead of tight end.
That's the problem, is that he's such an awesome player, but if you're picking that high in the draft, unless you somehow pulled off a trade that got you that pick, you probably have like a lot of issues, and a tight end feels like the last piece to a puzzle, not the first piece.
Yeah. Like the Hawkinson when the Lions picked him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's a good player, but also, the Lions.
Right. But good tight ends are sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're awesome to have. They are awesome to have.
I'm just starting the discussion, Big Cat, because I haven't seen it happen yet, and I'm sure those takes are coming.
Yeah. No, definitely. Absolutely, they're coming. All right. Bears, Seahawks, Big Dick Nick, snow game, came back, brought him 80 yards with like 3 minutes left in 6 plays. This game means nothing. Matt Nagy's not saving his job. The Bears don't have a first-round pick. It was still fucking fun to win. Like, it was one of those
snow football.
And it was,
when you win a snow football game, it feels so much better too.
It was just a fun thing to win. Like, it was a fun thing to just be sitting there and being like, "Hey, let's go win this game. This would be kind of fun." It didn't even it wasn't even Justin Fields showing. You couldn't even spin it as like Justin Fields making progress. It really was the most meaningless win you could possibly have for a franchise that is gonna fire their coach, doesn't have a first-round pick, and has a rookie quarterback that you want to have in who's hurt. So, but it was fun to win. Is this the end of the era in Seattle? That's the big question.
Yeah, so I think, like you're saying, it was kind of a meaningless win for you guys. It was a meaningful loss for the Seahawks.
Yes.
Because the Seahawks were like, okay, we have the Bears coming in. They suck. It's not even their good players that are playing. We're dealing with Nick Foles. We should win this game. Like, if we're still the Seahawks that we have been for the last 10 years, we should win this game. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm watching anymore. This is now officially like, I don't recognize these Seahawks because they lost this game. It didn't even look like a Seahawks game. It was fucking snowing out at Lumen Field. I didn't know that Seattle got snow. That's weird. So checkmate, Bill Gates.
It was it was crazy, and it was a lot of snow. I wish it was consistently like it. The field got kind of gross. I like when it's fully snowed field the whole time. But yeah, I don't know.
Slushy.
It was such a it was a meaningful loss and a meaningless win. And the Seahawks, it feels like it just reiterates that they got to do some changes. I hope Russell Wilson ends up in New York, because I would just love to see the New York media not buy his bullshit.
They're sticking with Daniel Jones, though.
Yeah,
maybe this is all a big smokescreen that they're saying a bunch of stuff and none of it's going to come true. Maybe Gettleman got a secret extension that he didn't tell anybody about, and he's planning on firing Joe Judge, and he's planning on releasing or trying to trade Daniel Jones he's like a mastermind behind the scenes, and none of us see it coming. That to me holds a lot more logic than the way they are going about it right now. That would make way more sense if they did that. But
yeah,
the Seahawks on their end, It's tough. It's probably tough to be a Seahawks fan because I saw they're starting to get into, they're smoking that copium and they're just falling back on how good they have been.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that other teams in their division are all pretty good this year. I saw one Seahawks fan on Twitter. This was Seahawk Nerd said in the last 18 years, the Seahawks have as many winning season as the Niners, Cardinals, and Rams combined. All combined.
Oh, wow.
So they're just like, we're the real franchise. You guys are a mere blip on the radar. They look at those other small teams like the 49ers and the Rams with no history behind them. And they're like, guess what? We're the dynasty. We're just experiencing a momentary slip back. They think they're like China, where it's like we've dominated the world for 2,000 years. You guys have had a cute little 50-year span that you've gone on, but the dragon's back, baby.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, if this is the end for him in Seattle, it's almost this is gonna sound crazy, and maybe you'll agree with me because we've never had real franchise quarterbacks, but like having a franchise quarterback as good as Russell Wilson and then only winning one, and it was, at the beginning of his career with that defense, that's gotta sting a little. It has to be like, wait, we had that and that's all we got? What are you gonna say, Hank?
Yeah, I know what he's gonna say.
And you were 2 feet away from repeating.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, you were.
Too.
I mean,
it definitely has to hurt.
I remember after that Super Bowl game was over, I was talking to Danny Kelly. He's at the Ringer now, but he was writing a Seahawks blog at the time, and he was just so sad. And I was talking to him. I was like, why are you I know that you just lost a heartbreaking game, but like, walk me through what you're feeling. And he was like, I mean, if we win this game, it's a dynasty. And I'm never going to have a dynasty. And the fact that we lost this, something tells me we're never going to get back to this place ever again.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't say that, Dan. You guys have got a solid team. Marshawn Lynch, he's a beast. Russell Wilson, your offensive line is playing high. You get the Legion of Boom. They're not going anywhere. Meanwhile, I think the safety Earl Thomas had like a broken forearm and like a shattered ACL at the time. And he was like, no, we're just never going to get back. And he was right.
Yeah. It's got to hurt you a little bit. It has to. Like there has to be in the back of your head, as fun as it was to watch Russell Wilson, there's so many good memories. There's got to be a small part of you that nags away. It's like, wait, what? Why? How is that it? How is it just that? The 2 Super Bowls, 1-1. Wait, they went to 3? What?
No, they beat the Broncos.
Put up 3. Yeah. No, yeah, they beat the Broncos in New York and they lost to the Patriots. That was it. They went to 2. And I didn't just say that because I'm trying to get that into Packers fans' heads, but it also applies to them.
I also think that you're slightly bitter that Russell Wilson spent the entire offseason just leaking word that he would potentially be interested in Chicago.
No,
maybe.
No. Once we drafted Justin Fields, I moved on from that. That was done. And also, Mr. Unlimited has shown himself this year in terms of the whole coming back from an injury so fast that science can't believe it, and really he just came back and sucked because his finger wasn't fully healed. So I don't know about Russell Wilson in that respect anymore. Maybe not a fully team guy. Maybe he's just trying to be Mr. Unlimited. I
just think that Russell Wilson has covered up for a lot of like Pete Carroll's boneheaded decision-making for the last 10 years or however long he's been in Seattle.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's a good coach. I don't think that they would change it or have it any other way. Like they made a great hire. Pete Carroll was the perfect guy for that time and place to lead that team. So, but I think we can still say Pete Carroll is kind of a shithead when it comes to in-game X's and O's stuff.
Yeah, and it's been so long, you just move on. Like that happens in sports.
People grow apart.
Yeah. Raiders, Broncos. Raiders aren't dead. This game pissed me off though because if Drew Lock is going to play, I want chaos. It was so utterly boring. Drew Lock had no touchdowns, no interceptions. He threw for like 150 yards. Drew Lock, the whole point of you being Drew Lock is to not be Teddy Bridgewater. I want you to do fucking crazy shit, have hilarious plays, have deep bombs. This game sucked. The only exciting part about this game was that, again, we almost had Nathan Peterman. Derek Carr loves to tickle us by going to the tent and having Nathan Peterman put his helmet on and the announcers said, "Here comes Nathan Peterman," and then it was Derek Carr.
Yeah, those are the 4 sweetest words in the English language.
Bullshit.
Here comes Nathan Peterman. And it does happen a lot. I think I've gotten caught a few times on Twitter where I see rumblings of a Nathan Peterman appearance, and then I just roll with it, and it's Derek Carr. He had a finger game today. His finger was like scraped up, and he is. I've learned this about Derek Carr. He's a great quarterback. He's like the opposite of Drew Lock. When he's just doing his boring shit, that's when he's really, really good. He's not an improv guy.
Yeah,
he's like he'll read the music that you put in front of him, but the second that it breaks down, unless he's running, because he does run with tremendous balance, and unless he's scrambling forward, like if he's just moving around the pocket trying to make something out of nothing, that's when shit breaks down. That's when shit gets like real ugly.
He had that sick pass to Hunter Renfrow. And I love Hunter Renfrow. I think you got to shave, dude. I think you got to shave it. He's doing the trying to grow a big facial hair for the male pattern baldness that's coming in. He's got to make a decision soon.
Yeah. He also continues to get tackled harder than any other wide receiver.
Yes.
Even on that diving catch that he had in the end zone for the touchdown, he somehow ended up pile driving himself after the catch.
Yeah. Yes. He got fucked up on that.
Yeah, he gets fucked up all the time. I don't know what it is about him. And I don't blame Derek Carr for it's not a case of him leading him into trouble that much. Just Hunter Renfrow finds trouble, man.
Yeah. If the Raiders make the playoffs, Rich Bisaccia deserves to be the coach for the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Given everything that's happened there.
We should do interim coach of the year award.
It's Rich Bisaccia.
It's Rich Bisaccia.
It is.
Hands down.
Absolutely Rich Bisaccia.
It's funny that you mentioned that thing about Drew Lock, though, about how they asked him to play like Teddy Bridgewater, which is not what Drew Lock does, because there was one play in particular where he stepped up in the pocket, and you could almost see like a twinkle in his eye the way he was about to step into a fucked up throw. And then he just stopped himself at the last second, held on to the ball, and just allowed himself to be softly sacked in the pocket. And I was like, there's something wrong with Drew Lock today that he's not taking those chances.
Yeah, no.
And I did feel like I was robbed.
If you're the coach, if you're Vic Fangio, you have to go up to Drew Lock right before the game and be like, hey, Drew Lock, you're Drew Lock. Let's fucking sling it. And just give it to him. Like, that was your best chance of winning that game, and instead you did. I mean, the Broncos defense is awesome. Vic Fangio is still a great defensive coordinator, probably not a head coach, and the Broncos are just continually trying to find a quarterback. And round and round we go.
Yep.
All right, other AFC West, Chiefs, Steelers. The Chiefs clinched the AFC West for the 6th straight year. Patrick Mahomes now, as a starter, is 54-14. That's pretty fucking ridiculous. For everything that we thought before this, in week 7, I think it was when they were 3-4. They're now 11-4, have the 1 seed kind of on lock. They obviously have to keep winning, but they have the inside path. I also just want to shout out Andy Reid because Patrick Mahomes is incredible. I looked it up. The 4 years before Andy Reid became the coach at Kansas City, the Chiefs were 23-41 in the regular season. He's been in Kansas City for 9 years. They're 102-41. So the 4 years before he got there, they had as many losses as he's had in 9 years since he's been there.
That's a fun what-if scenario. What if the Eagles had decided to keep Andy Reid? Because at the time, it was like we were talking about with Pete Carroll,
yeah.
Where it was like all parties decide we had a nice run, time to move on, try a different, like a change of pace. I think it actually worked out well for both sides. Like the Eagles got their Super Bowl. Andy Reid got his Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think both sides probably wouldn't take it back. But Andy Reid it's a rare instance where a coach gets fired or not asked back. I forget if they just didn't re-sign him or if they actually fired him. But where a coach is, they part ways, but everyone's like, that guy's still a good coach. And he basically had his pick of any opening in the NFL, and he chose Kansas City because he was still like that respected.
Yeah.
So shout out Andy Reid. I love you. I just love Andy Reid. It makes me happy to see Andy Reid happy.
Yes, absolutely. And the Chiefs, in a weird way, I know this is gonna hurt Hank. Hank hates when people mention the Chiefs in the same sentence as the Patriots. And I agree with you. They've only won one, so they've got a long way to go. But the way everyone talked, and ourselves included, talked about the Chiefs and Mahomes in October and what they have done since is very Patriots-esque, where everyone was like, have the Chiefs been figured out? Is Patrick Mahomes bad? And then they've just won an 11 in a row. Or whatever it is, 8 in a row. And, like, the way they've done that, wouldn't you say, Hank? I'm trying to be as diplomatic about this as possible without you getting upset about something I'm saying here that's a very, I think, an apt analogy of how everyone, Trent Dilfer and all the people, whenever the Patriots lose a couple September games, people would pile on and be like, the Patriots are dead. Everyone did that with the Chiefs, and now look where they are.
I agree with you, Big Cat. I don't get upset at that, and I think it comes back to coaching. Good teams can, it's a season. Season's a long season. I think great Hall of Fame coaches like Andy Reid and Belichick know that, and they don't get too worried about, the media freaking out after one loss here and there. Same way Belichick's not worried about the Bills. Andy Reid wasn't worried, and the Chiefs are back where they are. Now, Andy Reid, his playoff coaching record versus Belichick's isn't as good. I think that's different. We'll see.
That's a fact, but I do think that's a little bit unfair because, like, the one thing that Hank will always have over all of us is the media disrespects us. The media is always the first to come at us. When you even suggest that another team could be disrespected by the media to the level the New England Patriots have, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just a bigger defender of the Patriots than Hank is.
I think you guys have just decided that you're going to tell people what my emotions are before I even get the chance to say.
I didn't say what your emotions were. I said you do not like when people compare the Chiefs to the Patriots, and I agree with you.
It's not an accurate comparison.
Correct.
I don't care.
Correct. The way this season in the media, don't you think that's a apt comparison for what I just said, PFT, that like everyone piled on the Chiefs being like, oh, they're figured out, Mahomes, blah, blah, blah. They've just been fucking rolling people. And this game was perfect. Like, the Steelers are not good. They're a 500 team. They come into Kansas City, Travis Kelce's out, and what do the Chiefs do? They fucking blasted them. The Steelers did the impossible. They not only had a sad field goal in the third quarter, they had sad timeouts when they were calling timeouts with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to try to get the ball back so that Mason Rudolph could do nothing. It was so sad. The whole thing was sad for the Steelers.
This was the first time that the Steelers have been shut out in the first half of back-to-back games since 1940.
Whew.
1940. That's since the FDR administration.
Only two coaches ago for the Steelers.
Yeah, exactly. Two coaches. Yeah, FDR probably had the same mobility as Big Ben at that point too. Big Ben is I know we say how sad it is sometimes.
Careful. His whole family was there for the first time ever. His whole family traveled to an away game.
I know. It was very sweet and touching to see. I feel like they should protect us against watching some of the plays that Big Ben is putting on film right now because it is starting to reach Willie Mays in his final season. They should blur it out, actually. When Big Ben has the ball, they should put a little mosaic on the screen and blur him out just in case he does that sad thing where he walks 7 steps backward, gets the ball like sprung out of his hands 10 feet in the air, and then looks around in circles for the ball as the defender has it in his hands and is running towards the end zone.
There was wind.
Don't make me watch that.
There was wind. There was a lot of wind. All I'm going to say about Big Ben, because I'm going to bury this game tape. Monday Night Football. It's the next Monday Night Football. It's the Browns at the Steelers. It's Big Ben's last home game. We're going to soak that bad boy in. We're going to soak that bad boy in until his bowl game.
Play in a bowl game.
We're going to soak that bad boy in. They're going to do so many fucking Big Ben tributes. They're going to do so many funny things. Like, that will be the way that we make peace with Big Ben and everything
I'm already
that happens.
crying just thinking about it.
It's going to be emotional. It's going to be emotional.
Just thinking about it. I'm not ready to move on from that part of my life. This is truly a wow, PFT, you are actually growing older moment.
Yeah.
When Big Ben hangs up the walking boot for the last time. I think I'm finally ready to accept my 30s. I'm not as young as I used to be if our heroes are just dropping like flies. I do. If there's like a bright spot for the Steelers today, Najee Harris stiff arming people will never get old.
Yeah.
I just love it. If you remember those Madden minicamp games that used to play back in like 2004, 2005, Najee Harris would be the most unstoppable player in the NFL in those games where he's just jumping over people all the time and then stiff arming them.
Corey Dillon with the Bengals. Was he on the cover? No, he wasn't on the cover, but that was after one of his huge years.
Clock killing Corey Dillon.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. The Chiefs they're the team I'm most it's not crazy to say the team you're most confident in the AFC, maybe overall. They've been playing awesome football.
You know, it'd be fun because I think I am rooting for the Rams in the NFC for the Stafford effect. I would like to see that. If it was the Rams and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in a rematch of that game that we had, you remember the points of Palooza that we had? Bubba tweeted out a screen grab of that, I think on Friday. That was imagine being the guy at the water cooler who took the under. That was that game.
Yes. I have a quick question for you, Billy. Do football guy of the week, but I have a question for you after an animal question.
Perfect. All right. So last week, week 15 winner was Hunter Whitenack. If you remember, he was the offensive lineman recruit for the University of Illinois who said that stats are overrated and mauling people isn't. So congratulations.
He's the pancake guy, right?
Wait, how is it? What are the pancakes about?
No, the pancakes. So the guys who are doing the pancakes, they had maple syrup for Maple Syrup Day.
But why? They just like pancakes?
Well, they're offensive linemen. They give out pancake blocks.
Oh.
But that's a stat. But isn't that a stat, a pancake?
No, this guy's not the pancake guy. This guy.
But I thought you said he played offensive line.
Yeah, so he might also like pancakes.
Okay, all right. Just rip through them.
All right. Our first nominee is Mike Masunas, who's a tight end recruit for Michigan State. He posted a video of him pulling a Hummer and 2 pickup trucks jacked up, looked like Chevy Silverados. He tied them to himself. They're all in a row in a trailer hitch. And he just posted a video of him just pulling them, ripping heavy metal music. So that's football guy.
Okay.
You guys see the video, go to the blog. It's quite impressive and it's pretty psycho, but let's see if this guy pans out. It's an absolute psycho video. My words aren't doing it justice, but it's a football guy move. Our second nominee for football guy of the week is Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. When asked what his Christmas plans were, he said that he will not be attending Christmas. Ravens defensive coordinator Wink Martindale said he's going to celebrate Christmas with his granddaughter in January. She won't know the difference. She's 1 year old and football needs to be done. So he skipped Christmas for football and will celebrate in January, which is kind of assuming that he might not have too much to do in January, but huge football guy move.
That's a fair point.
Yep.
I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, it is a football guy move to rearrange holidays around your football schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Our third nominee is Greg Kittle, who literally tackled Greg Olsen on the sideline in greeting. And it was just one of those moments where you could tell that these are football guys. Body craves contact.
Yep.
Just guys being dudes.
That was an awesome clip.
That was a great clip.
And our fourth nominee is the random Arizona Cardinals fan who wore shoulder pads to the game.
Yes.
This guy strapped. This guy was pretty hilarious. You could tell that, honestly, just put this guy in on kickoff just one time, just at the end of the game. See what happens.
Cardinals fans had a great showing on Saturday. It felt reminiscent of the Suns games where it was just every time they panned to the crowd, it was something new. A Where's Waldo of oh fuck, look at that guy.
There was one guy that had his face fully painted like a bird.
Yes.
And he brought a laminated sign to the game saying, "I can't hear you." And it's this guy rocks. It's Christmas. And this guy left his family to paint his face like a bird and go scream at a football game and try to get the crowd amped up. Because you're right, the Cardinals fans, they got owned a couple weeks ago when it was that one dude being loud and you could hear one guy cheering.
Yep.
That's a personal. You should not be able to hear one guy cheering at a football game. So they did everything that they could.
Yeah. All right. I have my question for you, Billy. Oh, you have your throwback that you got off.
This one's
got off this Twitter account. Yeah.
No. This one's.
And we're gonna just follow the Twitter account.
No, this is another visual old school football guy of the week, the video of John Henderson getting slapped in the face several times by his trainer, getting hyped up. It's a classic. Have to throw it in there just for one of these old school football guys of the week.
I like
if you haven't seen it, go see the blog.
Got blood on his mouth, yeah. Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons says, teams not satisfied. We're not alligators. We don't get paralyzed after we eat.
Ooh.
That happens?
When they eat, all the blood rushes to their stomach, and they just chill in the sun and don't move.
Ah, okay.
Hungry gators move.
Okay. We're not alligators. Okay. Let's finish up with who's back of the week. Hank.
My who's back of the week is New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah?
All right.
That's also my who's back of the week.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm working on a little piece, for our readers. I was wondering if you guys had any New Year's resolutions for our readers and our listeners. Give them an example.
Does Bill Belichick?
I had the New Year's resolution one year that I was just going to drink more apple juice, and then I just had like 4 glasses of apple juice, and that was more than the previous year. I like to make New Year's resolutions you can just accomplish in day one.
I think I've said for like 3 years on this show that just drink more water. You can just, that's such a like nebulous resolution. I'm going to make a conscious effort to drink more water.
I'm going to get back in shape. I am. I am. That wasn't a question. I know it came out as a question, but it was a statement of fact.
Are you want to join the 6-pack club with us?
No, I'm just gonna get back in shape.
Hard body 2022.
Maybe. I tweeted about it on Saturday night, but I ate so much and I'm so fat right now, and I had that second ice cream cone. It tasted like sand. It wasn't even like I wasn't even doing it because I was hungry or wanted it. It was just a repetitive motion of just eating an ice cream cone, and I'm disgusted with myself.
I've thought about my resolutions. I like to say I'm going to do everything exactly the same except harder that I did the previous year. Just get like more mega. So I'm probably going to do that, but also I feel like this is the year where I get into scotch, where I finally figure out scotch, because I like bourbon and I've tried scotch before. Seems like a classy older guy thing to do.
Definitely.
To, sip something and be like, oh, this is very peaty. This is burned. This scotch is too old. So I'd like to figure out how I can start training myself to finally like scotch, as opposed to just like taking one sip of it and then being like, fuck this, I'm going to have another bourbon.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so Hank, is that your who's back? We kind of hijacked it. Sorry.
No, my who's back was asking you guys. I'm doing
okay.
A story for our readers and listeners, and I'm happy you guys were able to answer.
Okay, great.
I'm trying to go full primal. I'm going to try to go as primal as I can with consuming as much internet as I do. So it's going to be hard, but like blocking out light. I might go full Liver King.
You're going to just go off the grid?
No, I can't, but I'm going to try like eliminate blue light, avoid all the strenuous, like preemptive blogger year type stuff. So try to like get out in front of it, because I can sense.
So
like
you're going to suck at your job.
No. I'm still going to do my job. I'm still going to type.
No, that's impossible.
No, but it's like practice good sleep hygiene, exercise.
Impossible.
Yeah, I know. It's
it's like either you're good at your job, which is being on the internet all the time, or you live a normal, healthy life that will make you be able to live till you're 90. Those are the two doors you pick. Join us with the internet.
I know, but there's got to be a way I can do both. It doesn't wear down, where the TikTok isn't like destroying my brain either way.
Yeah, there is. There's a way to do it.
Fucking alpha by an app. Come on.
There is a way to do it. You just suck. You just have to suck at your job. That's the way to do it.
Just start liking chicks posts.
I purposely say not interested, because I only need the addictive trends to put on the part of my TikTok, because none of you are going to do those dances in those types of clothes. So I'm just getting only the extreme dopamine crack addict TikToks in my brain for hours.
Billy, what if you
love how Billy has set up his life for it, like this all to be your guys' fault.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be like, you guys making me do my job that I wanted and I asked for,
volunteered
is ruining me. And be like, oh, well, Billy, sorry. What should we do about it? He's like, well, what if I like traveled like Donnie, but it was just different gyms?
Billy, why don't you just try doing a flip phone? Why don't you get off the cell phone life?
He would then suck at his job.
I would then suck it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm the only one who's I feel like making sense here. It's very simple. You can do the thing you want to do. You will end up sucking at your job, and that's just unfortunate aspect of our jobs.
Yeah. It's kind of unavoidable.
Right. Exactly. You could limit it, but you can never eliminate it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I have no who's back because mine was just to lose weight. PFT, what's your who's back?
My who's back is depression. I'm watching replays of the Washington football team game right now.
Yeah.
People crying on the sidelines. I suck again. My team's bad. Everything hurts. Nothing feels good. Days are getting longer though, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. I think we gained like 2 minutes by the January 1st.
Yeah. This just kind of sucks. I was in such a good mood too. Today was awesome. I had a good day watching football, and then this is just a nice little reminder to me. Just I'll never be back. I might be close to being back at points, but we'll never be there.
No,
it's just not. It's not in the cards for this football team. For me.
What if you change your name?
Good point, Hank.
Yeah.
Yes, the name change. Actually, Jason Wright, if you're listening, tomorrow would be a great time to drop the new name on us. Like that we will instantly forget. Although then the Dallas Cowboys can forever be like, we beat them so badly, they had to change their name.
Yeah.
Which would be bad. But yeah, just being mad about everything is back. My other who's back is Pup Punk, because if you're going to Tucson for the Barstool Sports Bowl on Thursday, December 30th, we're going to be playing at Encore. So it's going to be the whole squad out there. Me, Nick, Roan, Robbie, Frankie. We're going to be playing at Encore. I think it's 10 o'clock Mountain Time, which is just weird to say, but it's Mountain Time at Encore. So if you're going to be out there for the bowl, get a ticket. And if you get a ticket, I think you also get a ticket to the bowl game on Friday.
Nice. Sick. And yeah, that's why I always tweet Bears are back, because they never will be back. You have to enjoy the small victories. We're not. This shit we're losers. We're losers. Okay.
This shit was.
No, we're losers.
It sucked.
We're all losers except Hank.
No, Hank's a giant winner.
No, it's true though. Like the Jets, the Dolphins, the Washington football team.
No, the Dolphins. The
Dolphins. And the Bears
are
bad franchises.
Jake's gonna fuck me in 2 weeks. I can just feel it.
Jake, what's your who's back? Let's end the show. What's your who's back?
My who's back is halftime entertainment. There's been some very good halftime entertainment in all sports recently. Today we had a dog race in Minnesota. There in the Cavaliers game. I don't know if you guys saw this. There was like a junior game. They were just chucking up threes from the NBA line.
Wait,
Red Panda's back in full motion.
Were they traveling? I gotta review the tape.
Probably.
How old were they?
Probably. They're probably like 10.
All right, I got to review that tape. There's definitely some travel.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. Red Panda's back.
Yep.
So
oh shit, I'm watching this dog race at halftime.
Yeah, yellow blew it.
They should do this way more. It should either be this or the monkey cowboy that rides the sheepdog.
They also do
also at the Colts game.
Yeah,
Those
when they
Colts
do
games,
when
right?
they do the baby races, those are always fun because you're like, these babies probably gonna get, at least one of them's gonna get fucked up from this, like mentally,
or hand, foot, and mouth disease, just crawling across the floor. Everybody's been sweating on.
Yeah,
where has that cowboy monkey been? We need to. That always puts a smile on my face. That's what I need right now.
Yeah. All right. Reminder: Thursday is our next show. Thursday. Not Wednesday, Thursday. Coach Jim McElwain, Central Michigan. Going to be awesome. Thursday.
Didn't fuck a shark.
We asked him about it. He did not fuck a shark. Okay. Numbers. Send us off.
88.
What's my new number, Jake?
56.
22. Is it 88?
22? 22. Yeah, Memes is saying 3. 22. 50.
Cool.
Which
50
is
a fifth timer.
6 less than what the Dallas Cowboys scored tonight.
Yeah, it's cool.
Fifth timer.
Fifth timer. Wow. If they played that game 5 more times, they would probably do that 5 more times.
Oh my God. It's just bad. Why the NFL sucks. Unless you're a fan of like 4 teams, football is pain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then if you're a fan of those 4 teams, you get to just beat everybody else down that has a shitty team that we root for all the time. Like we don't know that we root for shit.
That's why I say Bears are back. It's the only thing I have. One good play, Bears are back. No, they're not. They never will be. They're going to suck forever.
50, 56.
Gila Monster.
Tied them in the fourth quarter.
Gila Monster? What?
Gila Monsters are venomous.
Yeah, duh. Everybody knows that. Love you guys.
Talking away, so I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find me shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for your love again. Shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for your love again. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. Needless to say, I'm on sentence, but he's stolen away. Slowly learning that life is okay. Say after me, oh, it's no better to be safe than sorry. Say after me, oh, it's no better to be safe than sorry. Take on me, take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. All the things that you say, yeah, is it a life just to play my worries away? You're all the things I've got to remember. You're shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for you anyway. You're shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for you anyway.